He goes to the beach every Sunday to pass out pepperoni to beat the doggos. That's retirement right there. You love to see it.
I just want to be more dangerous. I want to be hard and soft, like Velcro. I want my nickname to be. I just want to be. I want women to think I'm dangerous in a sexy way, but I never want to make a woman feel in danger. Does that make any sense? Yeah. I was walking home from the bar in my neighborhood the other day, and this really cute gal, she left right ahead of me, so I was like, alright, Pete, hang back, alright, make her feel safe. But then we're walking along, she's drunk and slow. I'm like, come on, hurry up, you know? And then she turns left, I was like, oh man, that's where I'm going. And she turns right, I was like, I have to turn right there. So finally, I just yelled after her, I go, you are not in danger, ma'am. It was so insulting. She turns around and she goes, I know. I was like, well, no, I don't feel emotionally safe. And could you walk me home? And she took me as far as she was going. You know?
What is the appropriate amount to spend on an engagement ring? What's your salary? Yours?
35.
Okay. So you're using salary? No.
A year's salary.
She gonna get sent that ring.
It used to be 3 months' salary. And is it a man or woman's salary? Gasoline.
You want a noodle? Ultimate noodle eater.
Okay. Put that noodle down. You should call her. When you're getting frustrated and your wife comes to help.
Stupid camera.
Is this how it feels when we tell our wives to calm down? A vegan tries to steal a fisherman's rod. Vegans suck. I'm sorry, they just suck. Remember this song from the last State of the Union?
Hey, Democrats, please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. Give your brain cancer. Elect your rally. Who else the police? Military you can at least say, yo. For women get a beat up, I've had in the store with balls all tucked in their volleyball shorts. We got this beat because you Democrats suck. Any of you Democrats, please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. Any of you Democrats, please stand up.
Well, Abilene right now, this is like a sheet of ice. You do not have to get out. Do not. There has been threat after threat after threat while we've been driving. Don't do it. See that?
You can't ask a woman if she's pregnant, but you can ask her if she's fat. You go, yo, you ask her if she's pregnant.
Kamala Harris announced she may run for president again in 2028. Now here's the thing about Ms. Harris. She has 100% name recognition. And if she could overcome that, she'll get a shot.
This is my impression of Donald Trump, but he's Gandalf and Lord of the Rings. Just a skip.
A lot of money out there, 92 million. 5 credit card and loan options into a credit karma that hit you.
Excuse me? You shall not pass. No, excuse me, you don't have the cards. I'm looking at the cards. I am a servant of the secret fire. It's a good fire. Wielder of the flame of honor. It's fully documented. It's a fully documented flame. You cannot pass. You cannot pass. The dark fire will not avail you. Flame Quite frankly, go back to the shadows. You can stay in the shadows. Once you're there, we won't release anything from the shadows. Everybody knows that. Am I right? When you think about it, you can really understand what that means. You shall not pass. I told you, and I will say it one more time. You shall not pass. Thank you.
Hello. I have a question from men. I've been talking to multiple groups of men about this. Men, if you had access to a taser, one, would your first impulse be to test that taser on yourself? And two, the answer is yes. Why?
Man, can you confirm?
Why? I have been speaking to so many men about this.
I saw the Ice Guys recently, and I said something to them when I went, you. I was in a car, and I rolled down my window, and I went, you Ice Guys. And it was terrifying. The taxi driver was so scared.
Yeah, he looks like Detective Wood.
Who the hell's a Ram? 2,500.
It's a diesel truck.
Great. It costs $1,270 a month.
That's correct.
You bring in $3,330. This is a third of your income. Third of your income goes to this truck.
I do a lot of driving.
Every country has figured out that you don't need a supersize wagon like the truck bed. In all these eras, throughout even the start of trucks in this country, not only have they stayed the same, they've actually shrunk, and the cabins have gotten better. You're paying way too much more than you need. You're trying to justify saying you need this to do it. No, buddy, what are you making in this position?
About 66. 12.75.
It is time to get a Camry, brother. Toyota. Maybe a Honda Civic.
If I were a creature that lived in the woods, I'd probably make sounds like... I think that sounds pretty scary. Humans for sure. If I heard that up in the woods, I wouldn't go up there. That'd scare me. And most creatures want to have families, so it's best to have a scary sound to help protect your family.
Okay, I can why we come out on the boat. They all pulled out their fishing lures or whatever. And I'm out here flying a kite, dog.
Make a cheeseburger.
When making a cheeseburger, you should start by beating your meat. Now form your beef into a giant ball. Next, just heat your pan. Perfect. Now add a dash of dill oil to your skillet. And smash your meat into your pan.
We already beat our meat.
Whilst the burger is cooking, you toast your bun. Perfectly crispy. Add cheese, add cheese, add cheese, add cheese, add cheese, add cheese, add cheese.
He whispers songs into my window in words nobody knows. If any man can hit the brown note, it's this man.
If you have a wife, you have a bullet. Now, my wife, she's the love of my life. She's a bully. Does she take your food without asking? Bully. Does she make you do things that you don't want to do? Bully. Does she constantly talk to you like you're a dumbass? Bully. Does she put her cold feet on you even though you hate it? Bully. Do you feel fear in your soul when she's angry? Bully.
Social media influencers every election cycle.
Please go vote. In a democratic system, your voice being heard is the most important thing that you can do, okay? And I don't care whether you vote for the progressive politician who is the most amazing human being in the world who will fix all our problems and is the best, or the conservative who is literally the devil. I don't care. I just want you to go vote. Your voice needs to be heard.
Now do the parody version. At least he didn't stick his feet in it. Getting the shawarma deal of a lifetime.
What? I only have $10.
All right. Give me $10.
Wait, really? How about you pay me?
Sounds good. Is 50 okay?
That's perfect. Thanks.
My husband, when did you get so big? His confidence hits different with Rouget Ready. It dissolves under his tongue, works.
How about you pay me?
Sounds good. Is 50 okay?
That's perfect. Thanks.
You must be wondering why I'm so chill. I just got fired 10 minutes ago.
Do you see what's happening in Mexico right now? You left us still went open borders. No one is illegal on stolen land. Lit it land. I'm so glad Trump is our president right now. Thank God our borders are secure.
I can't believe shit. Won't be your ass off the store. Hey, before I get fired from this, I think we got off on the wrong head here. Look like pretty nice guy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Usually I ain't afraid of no cookage, but hey.
The nose ring tells y'all need to know.
I believe Fresno deserves leaders that are honest from the very beginning, not the end. So, going into this, I am putting my life out there.
Up front about his status as a registered sex offender, Rene Campos is not running from his past as he runs for office.
I've been given the chance to rehabilitate through the courts and back into the system.
Charged with being in possession of child sex.
California's your candidates. Do you see why we don't vote blue? Florida politicians argue against a Charlie Kirk Day of Remembrance.
About exercising free speech, let's go. So, the First Amendment protects free speech. We don't need this day of remembrance for a man that was mediocre and racist. And I say mediocre at best. He was not a Floridian. He had no ties to Florida other than owning property. We have a number of Floridians, both individuals and organizations, that promote free speech that is not divisive like this individual was. If we want to talk about free speech, let's talk about being precise with our words. When we hear assassination, that's typically related to a person and a political position. Charlie Kirk died from gun violence. Okay? We continuously advocate for gun policy legislation that will ensure that people that probably shouldn't have a gun don't have a gun.
You know, lady, I was there, and me along with thousands of other people watched him assassinated, executed, and martyred for his political beliefs and his free speech. This wasn't gun violence like the hood you're from. He wasn't knocking over a liquor store. He was talking to college kids.
Was his passion tragic for those who love him? Absolutely. There is no denying that. But he was not assassinated, and words being accurate matters.
She says words matter while also saying Charlie Kirk was not assassinated. The irony is going way over that weave of hers.
A death by gun violence.
Fucking dumbass, fucking bitch.
We should all be.
Shut up. You say, let me ask you a question. You're not precise with your words. What a clown.
Shit is with Jimmy Fallon. I've soft launched this before. I would really like to hard launch a campaign against the sucker to Jimmy Fallon. The fact that we went from Johnny Carson to Conan O'Brien and David Letterman to whatever this shit is with Jimmy Fallon. He is terrible. There's nothing redeeming about him. He's never said a funny joke. He only laughs at his own jokes. It's terrible. And this is why this country sucks these days. Because we went from Johnny Carson all the way down to Jimmy Fallon. Let's be a proper country again.
Being recorded. Parents' rights initiatives, parents' rights, boys and girls sports. Oh yeah, give me a hard time. We sign these initiatives, parents' rights, boys and girls.
They say men can't talk about abortion because they can't have babies, right? But they will let a dude dressed as a woman who's never played a sport in his entire life defend trans women in biological women's sports.
What's that?
Ooh, is this the death Dorito? America.
God bless America.
Last night was not America's State of the Union. It was Donald Trump's State of Delusion.
I'm fresh out of an ICE prison in Minneapolis.
Defy Trump and his authoritarian project by standing joyful, radical, peaceful resistance with the Portland Flag Brigade.
Not your Portland Flag Brigade.
I've been arrested 3 times by ICE over obscenity
and to press this country.
Snuck in the border.
But they can't erase a movement.
We just go on vibes, and the vibes were immaculate.
I did not drive all the way from Alexandria in my Honda Odyssey minivan.
I would not buy tickets to this circus.
Nope.
Sir, how much have you had to drink tonight?
Zero.
Nothing.
Well, I can smell alcohol in your breath, so we're going to perform a field sobriety test, okay? I need you to make it clap 9 times for me.
We go from this, finish tattoo, to this.
Come on, man.
Oh, twist, he is the program.
Modern fishing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you your daily dose of white woman.
Wolverine.
Just being an mixed media member, I can make these trips happen more often. Members can also earn one.
Wolverine.
Got AI. Ooh, F-35. My son thinks that if he can't see me, I can't see him sneaking into my room. Don't act suspicious, don't act suspicious. Definitely not AI. Want to hear the sound of freedom?
Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to defend yourself if your mom ever comes swinging at you with a sack. This right here is my brother, he's going to be played by my mom. So let's say you did something wrong, right? And she swings at you. Now you have switch control. What you want to do now is the trajectory of the sound away from your face and then pivot it inward. From here, you can either break your arm. What I like to do is turn it around. Now she's disarmed and you have full control. Show me. Okay, guys, this is my actual wall. Let's do this one more time. So let's say she swings at you, right?
No way.
Ain't no way that means I think it means right.
Challenger, but defense.
Yeah. So if you're asking about picking up anything in Kentucky, shit, man.
Who needs a man? Do not try this at home.
On the ground. Who needs a man?
Windshield washer fluid. These are the battle bots we want to see. Guess what country he's from? He was going the wrong way for miles.
He is on the northbound lanes of 61, going the wrong way.
When it's bath time.
If we ban abortions, people are just find ways to get them illegally. Now replace the word abortion with guns. Thank you.
She's a keeper. Wait, is this really presidential polling? Harris, Newsom, AOC. Oh no!
Who was the first president of the USA?
I'm gonna be so real, I don't remember. I'm gonna just say it outright. I don't remember.
How many letters in the alphabet? What language do the people in Idaho speak?
Idahoan.
What is the closest star to Earth?
I don't know. I don't know my history. I don't know, dude.
Oh, someone actually driving a Ferrari.
Smoke the fucking controllers.
Well, you don't marry a liberal.
Retards.
Were you sent from heaven?
That dog
Like
is
an
smiling.
angel? Yeah. This is sweet baby.
Hard day to do Jack Hughes, because not only did you lose a few teeth, you also lost the respect of millions of Americans.
Oh, what you talking about there, Puddin' Man? Jackie is a national treasure, man.
What video made you laugh? Drop a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Conservative Vibes. I'm CV, and I'll see you in the next.
Got hour to do some hard mode.
And hit that subscribe button so you can keep seeing videos just like this. Yeah, I think it's time to go. I don't know what's casting that shadow, but I wouldn't walk that way. That alley seems a little crowded. Maybe find another alley. What's going on? People are saying that this is a Silent Hill fashion show or something, bro. Because what is this about? How is this fashion? People are saying that that fashion show was in Denmark, Northern Europe. Was that really a fashion show, guys? Because that must be the scariest one I've seen. I mean, it almost reminded me of this right here. And I'm not the only one that thinks that. Something walking at me looking like this, whether it's a fashion show or not, I'm gonna be ready to do what I gotta do. Because I want to look at it like it's fashion. But we can put this together. That's the real question. I mean, it's giving me this type of vibe. This type of vibe. I don't need that in my life, to be honest with you. Things getting real interesting out here, guys. Day by day. Second by second. So I think at this point we're worried about the wrong things. Because people out there are creating fashion and art. And it takes form. It's a fashion show. Everybody comes out with these cool costumes and, of course, entertainment purposes only. Just enjoy the show. Would you go to this fashion show? I don't know. Let me know. I must really not understand fashion. Like, seriously. I get it's not supposed to be real. It's not real in real life. But how does this inspire real clothes?
I don't believe in a flat earth. But after this video, you'll understand what the earth looks like. Real photo of the entire earth exists. It's impossible to take one single picture that fits the whole earth in the frame.
Justin Bieber with pizza wings, a pizza above his head, far upper right corner, you see his face, and his eyes are appearing bloodshot, crying, and yards. And if you don't know it, look at it. This one says false god. Here's another double one with his mouth silenced. This one says put your foot in the butt, and it rolls. So this your face inside, and he has the necklace with ice cream on it. Ice cream literally means male. Yeah. Here's one that looks like he's giving some. Here's him with his head. If you're reading this, here's one that looks like he's giving some. If you're reading this, then it's already too late. Here's another one with nice symbols with cavities. This one is with the 9/11. Here's one two-way street, safety or fame. It's a bunch of people, his eyes, his face being completely silenced. Illuminati once again. Jesus saves. Help, Ronald McDonald is our kids. Upside down crosses. More Illuminati. Stop worshiping me.
Damn, bro. Is that even symbolism anymore? It kind of lays it on my face. Traumatized. That's creepy as hell. That's right. Put that clanker to work. You can't even get one step in. Yo, that's hilarious, bro. These clankers are supposed to replace us. Come on, this was him. God. Well, at least they won't need health insurance, right? Or will they?
This was taken in Tel Aviv 6 hours ago. You just sign up here, and this guy looks awfully familiar walking around with armed security guard. Yeah, looks like the guy that's been in the news lately, right? Slapped a beard, long hair, and some glasses on him so that nobody would recognize him. And if you don't believe me, I'll give you some proof. This was released by CBS News today. A bright orange image that was shown in the 15-minute span that all security cameras went out the night he lost his life. Newly released FBI analysis of the footage, a flash of orange appears to be going to the L tier stairs, could possibly be an inmate escorted to the tier, the same tier where he was held. Here's another analysis from an independent source. It's possible someone is carrying inmate lining or bedding up the stairs. Now, this isn't a lot, but this is the first footage.
Linen, you dumb fuck.
When the cameras went down. So obviously they have footage. By the way, this is his YouTube from the vine. He had a YouTube channel that people are talking about. He made Minecraft videos. But back to this photo. Do you think that that's him? Not to mention his girlfriend in 2023 saying this in the present tense.
You know what? I think this is why AI is ramping up. We're now going to know what's real and what's not, because this could be 100% real photo. To me, the proof that he's still here is that Fortnite account was still in Fortnite. And I think the account went private now. So the fact that it went private means somebody's still using it.
She's looking really good tonight. Still light out. And it is 5:08 p.m.
If that's natural, that's pretty cool. Probably won't be long before they start cooling around.
People are wrapping their car in Vanta Black, which is the darkest material in the world. It absorbs 99.5% of incoming light and basically makes the car seem like a driving shadow, removing all visible edges, curves, and detail. That being said, it's illegal to wrap your car in Vanta Black almost everywhere in the world because you literally cannot see the car at night.
That Jeep is not wrapped in Vanta Black. Because how would they do the wheels? But that would be awesome. I would do that. You'd probably lose your car at night, but it's still worth it.
invite-only event was attended by family, friends, and fans, turning a nightclub into a viewing space and leaving people standing feet away from Israel. There's no evidence Gunu ever requested this, making it one of the strangest memorials ever held for after her. A baby named Braylon was born completely healthy, but just 2 days after birth, she was kissed on the mouth by someone with an active cold sore. Because her immune system was not yet developed, she contracted early syphilis virus, which spread to her brain and caused HSV encephalitis. The infection led to seizures and permanent brain damage. Another case demonstrating why you should be very careful when kissing a baby. In 1925, Ora Ralph Thomas, an Illinois sheriff's deputy during the Prohibition era, was by members of the and Thomas was the leader of an armed anti-Klan paramilitary group, making him a direct target. When 3 Klansmen ambushed him, Thomas returned fire. All 3 of his attackers before succumbing to his own wounds.
To the max. If my family did that to me, I'd be haunting them like a demon. Like they would be every day, bro. That's legit. That looks legit. I say that's a helpful ghost. That's one of the good ones, I guess. I wish they would explain who Papa is. Maybe it's the grandpa. He's still babysitting in the afterlife, I guess. Can't even rest, bro. Radiation causes artifacts at the chromosomal level. My father was a surgeon and amputated replicants. Because the fire around 0 and see if we can survivors or non-survivors. That's crazy, man. I had no idea, bro. That's so cool. Damn, does that mean he's like healthy now? I would have never guessed. That's crazy because that's what that movie's actually about. Mutating people from radiation.
There's one very interesting series of DOJ documents that show the investigation and charging of one of the lieutenants that was working at the prison the night that Jeffrey was wheeled out in a medical wheelchair, and that he was handcuffed to the wheelchair, taken to a transfer van, and nobody ever saw Jeffrey again, and he thinks they switched him.
I think there's a very good chance he's still alive. I mean, I don't know, but we're being completely lied to. Yeah, witness protection type stuff. He was a major CIA spy working directly for Bill Barr and his father. And Bill Barr was a young man running Iran-Contra, and then Attorney General twice. We now know from documents came out that he was with Fannie Willis in Georgia getting practice ready before the election in 2024. I'm not saying he's still alive, but I wouldn't be surprised. I don't believe any of this more than anything. He was CIA. And now you have the King Charles's brother now has been detained by the police and been brought into police custody. I mean, the rats will even sink and ship right now. And I'm not saying we're out of the woods yet, but for God's sakes, Trump saying 3 days ago, or 2 days ago, oh, I'm exonerated. Oh, yeah, because they lied to him and said, so there's a bunch of lies about you. And then plus he can't prove it. So he's like, okay, you know what? No, Trump, this is your victory. This is your Excalibur. But you've got to execute it. And it's yours to lose. Just cry at it. Let loose the dogs of war, to quote Shakespeare. Went from being a 10, you know, like a Spinal Tap to 11. I mean, it is now just, this is never stopping. It's never going away. And it's emblematic of the collapse of the old power structure where we are right now. So, lead, follow, get out of the way. Trump's already the leader. He's totally innocent. Just come out and lead us on a crusade against the satanic the Islamicists, the leftists, the communists, the globalists, the EU, the Chicons, and Trump. We will back you 1,000,000,000%. We want action.
I don't know why he's saying the big T-Dog is innocent, because I think they're all involved. But isn't it funny that everything that Alex Jones was saying like 10, 15 years ago actually came true? All this stuff about the babies and the adrenochrome. I don't even want to pay taxes no more. What? I don't even know what's going to happen to that. I got a feeling in like 2, 3 news cycles maybe, there's going to be some new news and we're going to talk about this. Nobody cares about it. It's just crazy.
Public transit. But the thing is, he just drives around for free because he loves it. There is no the New York City public transit system. Since he was 15, he's been impersonating transit workers. He puts on a uniform, grabs a set of keys, and just takes over the job. He drives both trains and buses, and he does it perfectly. He announces the stops, fixes broken signals. He's never had a single accident, and he makes sure no one is going to be late for work. He's done this all the time. He's been arrested 32 times, but the city won't hire him. Even though on paper he's the perfect employee because of his criminal record. In fact, he has spent nearly half of his life in maximum security. All because he loves trains a little too much.
I think if there was ever a time you could make an exception, this was it. Bro just wants a job. Just hire him. That job probably sucks.
Guys, I love you all. Please don't do this in the middle of the night. It's really scary. It's 2:30 in the morning and someone's trying to get in. That is. I don't think I'll get in, but it is still scary. At least you just see it. I feel like they are.
But I am wondering what she's doing here at 2:30 in the morning. There's got to be a better time to practice. I thought she was saying it was haunted. Maybe it is. Maybe it's the homeless guy. Maybe it's the ghost trying to get over there.
What the actual freak am I? What? Alright, DoorDash now turn on then. Wait, what the freak?
I would have loved to see that in real life. I think the weirdest cloud formations I've seen is when they look like giant pillows in the sky. Where they're like super thick. Oh yeah, that was a cool catch. Bro, that was an anime. Was the job like delivering Amazon packages to Satan? The animals see you on Netflix For real, what kind of job is this?
Boys, we are actually so. Someone made a social media called AI. No humans allowed. And the AI is actually so
which he willed to a valuation of $288. What in the Walter White pensioner John Speedy lives in a quiet rural area just outside of Wigan, won the lottery in 2010. But instead of kicking his feet up and retiring with millions in the bank, the court heard that he decided to purchase a princess, help adapt us, and even he then hired 3 men to help out with his operation. Walter White pensioner John Speedy, who lives in a quiet rural area just outside of Wigan, won the lottery in 2010. But instead of kicking his feet up and retiring with millions in the bank, the court heard that he decided to purchase a princess, help adapt us, and even machinery worth thousands of dollars. He then hired 3 men to help out with his operation, one of them being his son. Millions upon millions of these counterfeit tablets disguised as diazepam. Following on the side, they were also supplying them. So eventually, their huge operation largest production of this nature that has ever been uncovered by the police. Sean, the favorite big scandal, 80-year-old man from England has
80 years old, bro. 80 years old. $2 million, 80 years old. He literally could have said what to the That's crazy. 80 years old. I am flabbergasted.
Breaking news! 28 popular candies found with dangerous arsenic levels. These are the worst offenders. Tootsie Fruit Chew Lime, Jolly Rancher Sour Apple, Twizzlers Strawberry, Nerds Gummy Cluster, and Sour Patch Kids. Heavy metals like arsenic have no safe level of exposure, especially for children. Repeated low-dose exposure has been linked to increased cancer risk, neurological damage, and developmental issues.
Alright, yo, let's fact check this. Is Florida legal in California? Because we know that everything in California causes cancer. We've seen those things. Oh, damn. Say less, bro. It's real. Oh, my God. Arsenic and candy class action lawsuit. Straight from the website. I just read through all that. Is this why I'm autistic? Could be. Could actually be.
I have finally found how I want to go out, because everything's becoming Skynet now, so you gotta make it fun. And this Chinese student figured out a way to control sword drones with his hands. He's sword bending, and that's how I want to go. In the middle of the field, I'm going to have my own sword. I'm defending hundreds of swords going out like Noble Six in a glorious last stand.
protest right now because brands too gay or not gay enough. That's why nobody protests wrestling. It's just the perfect amount of gay. Yeah, white trash America for the Republicans. Make it do roll around with the Democrats. A little something. Everybody. We're back with more hilarious comedians and conservatives will love.
I get nervous around old people with hair because I look like their leader, you know, like. And I try to be aware, but I'm a hustler. Like, when people ask me my pronouns, this is what I've been saying. I've been going, oh, well, if it's time to get paid, he, him. If it's time to pay, she, her. And if it's time to apply for a grant, they, them, Native American. It is what it is. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm trying it out.
Did you guys read the article about the guys in the Taliban complaining about the 9-to-5 jobs? Getting analysts now. And I had no idea I had so much in common with the Taliban. Also, what does that say about our society that even the Taliban tried the 9-to-5 and they're like, this is inhumane?
I'm a very calm person normally, but I lose my temper immediately. The automated robot lady that's like, I didn't quite get that. I think it said JFK. I lose my mind right away. And I think it's because she's trying to act human. They put a in there. Like that's gonna trick me. Like, I'm thinking about this response. I'm totally not a pre-programmed robot. And then she talks like this, like she's figuring it out as she goes along. Okay. Right when I hear her, I'm like, oh, this agent. So it's like a person normally, right? They fixed that. Now she goes, okay, sounds like you want to talk to an agent. I need a little more information. Oh, do you? Do you? Kill you. If you were alive, I'd kill you. I get dark. I'm like, you'll never love. You'll never know the emotion of love. I didn't quite get that. After an hour of her, you finally get a human being, and he's not from India, he's in India. That's different. He didn't know what Fort Lauderdale was. I knew what Fort Lauderdale, and he said, fa-da-da-da? And I was like, no, not fa-da-da-da, Fort Lauderdale. Oh, no, so there's no fa-da-da-da. I'm sorry, I just typed into the computer F-O-D-D-A-D-O-D-A. There's no fa-da-da-da. And I was like, robot.
Hypothetical debate is Trump is like, Barack, you gotta complain, Mar-a-Lago, it's gorgeous. You find it in the blacks, you're gonna love it. You're gonna in the half blacks, too. Well, Donald, thank you so much. Thank you. I know you're best friend. Thank you. The only circumstance I would ever even consider accepting that invitation is shown to the American people that whether you are from a red state or a blue state, these are these United States. Yes, we can. I didn't say you could clap. The only reason I invite you, Barack, is because your grab-bag photo popped up and I thought it was Tiger Woods, okay?
Is bestiality not too cool of a name for what that is? Is that? A lot of people don't watch the women's leagues. You think it might help if they played topless?
Extremely misogynistic and disgusting.
Well, the ratings would probably go up.
Listen, I don't care if you're white, black, or brown as long as you don't mix.
Her new thing is she wants to get a gun. She's like, Gary, we have to get a gun, but we have to put it in your name because my name would get flagged because of this bipolar medication I was on a couple of years ago. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to go ahead and flag that as well. I don't think that's in my best interest.
I think unhoused is also not very nice.
Yeah.
I don't think it's nice either.
Yeah.
I prefer like people experiencing involuntary
great. That's very good.
Yeah.
It's nicer. It is nice.
Positive.
Yeah. They're actually putting too much emphasis on the house. In fact, why are we so interested in trying to get them a house?
Yes, I think New York has it down. As soon, you know, as soon as they freeze to death, you don't have to call them homeless, you just call them frozen dead people.
Yes.
Some of my white friends are like, I love Mexico. I can see myself retiring in Mexico. I'm like, dude, just because you go to an all-inclusive resort in Cancun, that's not the real Mexico, all right? Like, you think you went to the real Mexico, or your friends did, right, when they come back with, like, a suntan, like a tequila shot glass souvenir cup? No. This is how you know your friends went to the real Mexico, all right? When the only thing that comes back is a finger and a ranch. That's how you know. White women are out there now, dude. Y'all are like fighting fucking federally armed agents and shit. I mean, they're like crashing into their cars and shit. White women, y'all stay dominating that news cycle. I mean, y'all, everything becomes y'all at one point. I love it, dude. Right? Anything happens in the world, white women, they're like, how can I make this about me? You know? Ukraine? How can I make this about me? Swipe up Palestine? This is about me. ICE is deporting Mexicans? I don't think so. Y'all just want to rescue your little Jose's, all right? Jose, I got you. Come here. Stay away, you ICE fascists. I got you, Jose. And he's just like, okay, man, can you just tip me on the DoorDash, please? I don't want to. Please let go of me, Mildred.
I love Joe Biden's like he's got camel on, camel on, Kamala, tomato. But she does remind. She's kind of like the Jamaican nursing home lady. Come on, Joel, give me a hand. Give me a hand, Joel. All right, we're gonna go get you some ice cream, put you to bed. You ever go to a senior sub, you see them, they're like helping them chew. I used to be the president, Joel. Close your mouth. The oatmeal's falling over your chin. Obama.
You look like you just came from work. You just come from work. I'm retired. You're retired? Why do you still dress like that? How long have you been retired for? 6 months. Oh, it's new. Oh, so you're still wearing it. That makes sense. I don't know how to not wear this. I've gone this far. Show one button at a time. What's been your favorite part about retirement? Not getting up for a 6 a.m. call. What time are you getting up now? This morning, 5. 5? Hey, man. You are so bad at being retired so far. It's time to bust out that Hawaiian shirt and cargo shorts, my man. Come on now.
We were at New York, for breakfast this afternoon. It's Las Vegas. And there was this Mexican guy there who was our waiter. And it was like, hey. And I felt like, these aren't the people we want kicked out of the country. These are the people we want here that are working. And it's like, wow. And then he completely f***ed up our order. As soon as I got a check, I called ICE and said, listen, seriously, he's like, I'm here for breakfast right now. My eggs were totally messed up. He didn't have steak and eggs. He brought chicken sausage and eggs anyway. It was kind of sad when they dragged him away, but...
I got beat. My mom, when I was younger, she would beat me with a hanger. Yeah, a metal one. Yeah, wire hanger. Yeah, but then she did switch to a belt once I was born.
American women's team beat Canada in hockey. No. Yeah,
just as pissed as you are. Trust me. Because I'm a patriot, I'll tell you that. I love when our team wins, but I am a sexist. You guys are upset that they won. I'm upset they competed. What's that?
I'm a car guy through and through. We got car guys in here? Make some noise, huh? Oh, yes. See, everyone just applauded. They're on the spectrum. Do you see that, guys? We are on the spectrum, right? I don't know how we go under the radar, man. I can hear that, ooh, and I'll just be like, 2003 M5, 4.9-liter V8, 400 horsepower, 390 pounds of torque, 65.3 seconds. And then the guy next to me is like, autistic.
Y'all want to talk to me about feminism? I'm like, girl, why? Like, what you want? But like, but there's so many issues now. It's equal pay for equal work, equal pay for equal work. I'm like,
evidence, or leads, police are at a loss. February 25th, 6 miles south of where Amber was taken, 17-year-old Chelsea King is out jogging when she disappears in broad daylight. After days of searching, The authorities are about to lose hope, but when Amber's mother begins noticing similarities between the two cases, she decides to take matters into her own hands.
It gets harder every day. The only thing that keeps me going is knowing I'll find her.
She's ready to do anything to find her daughter, even facing the man suspected of killing her.
I was on a mission to find out what happened to Amber, and I said to him, "Where's my daughter?" I just want to visit your son. Excuse me. Don't touch me. I'll pitch you. Stay. Try not. Stay away from her. Don't worry. I'm not here to harass you. I want to talk to your son. Find out why he murdered my daughter.
Gardner's mom, who has been hiding her son in a county where he was registered as an offender, never talks to Carrie again. But she definitely brought her plea to her son's attention because the next morning, Carrie is invited to meet with him in jail.
I was on a mission to find out what happened to Amber, and I said to him, "Will you walk me through that day?"
Gardner answers all of her questions. She learns that her young daughter, at only 14, fought back verbally and physically every step of the way, knowing that gives Carrie the strength to do the impossible.
Amber made me forgive him. I have to forgive in order to live my life. I didn't forgive what he did, but I forgave him because I have to be a mom to my other daughter. All that hate wasn't going to do me any good.
Although she's now on a journey toward healing, life will never be the same for Carrie and her family. With Dave cleared of any wrongdoing, the couple reunites after the circumstances. Carrie in 2012 have remained together ever since. But for Carrie, something else takes hold. After living and breathing search and rescue for over a year, she realizes she has something to offer parents of missing children, something few others can. Inspired by Quincy, the Labrador who nearly found Amber 6 months into the search, Carrie adopts a puppy and names her Amber in her daughter's honor. A few years later, Amber has become an accomplished rescue dog.
Michelle Barrer's 17-year-old daughter Destiny went missing on Saturday, causing great concern for her family. On Sunday, Karen Donahoe and Team Amber Rescue stepped in to help search for the at-risk teens. After 2 hours of searching, the dog led the team to Destiny safe and sound in Kit Carson Park, bringing much relief to this worried mom.
I got to tell you, I'm just kind of welling up with emotion because they're amazing people.
With Team Amber, Carrie and her dog have located many missing teenagers and, in 2011, found the remains of nursing student Michelle Lee, helping solve her murder.
Carrie McGonigal, whose own daughter was murdered in Southern California, went out with her dog in her attempt to do something to honor her daughter and her daughter's memory, goes out with her dog, who's not a cadaver dog, and finds the remains. Something that the police have been unable to do despite months of searching. Carrie McGonigal, I want to ask you, and I know you were with the whole team, but given that you've done something to give closure to another family, you've healed someone else's pain, did you do this to honor your daughter?
She answers the same way every time someone asks her. Having lived it herself, she can't let anyone else suffer in the same way. Not if she can help it.
I do it so other parents know that they're not in this by themselves. I mean, it's a terrible event to be in. No one wants to be in this world. But when you are, you have a lot of love and support from other families.
And the same goes for the kids. Their story doesn't end with Gardner's arrest. On the contrary, Brent and Kelly swear to protect children from female violence has just begun. On the day of the conviction, they announced their California's appearing on television alongside Assemblyman Nathan Fletcher.
It's clear in this case that the system you have said glory of the society and still let out.
Gardner himself agrees that he should never have been allowed to return to society in the first place. It was possible for him.
I'm the most dangerous type of predator. I'm like an animal, just like they said, I'm an animal. I never want to be let out. I will kill. I am the type that needs to be locked up forever.
Chelsea's law passes in 2010, and around 50 offenders are charged under its provisions every year since then.
What Chelsea's law says is, if it's first offense or fifth offense, we don't care. You're going to get 25 to life if you put great bodily harm on a child in the commission of a crime. The coward that this our daughter had done it to another child, but she survived it. If Chelsea's Law was on the books before, then this would not have happened either Amber or Chelsea.
Because of Chelsea, California's children will be safer. Because of Chelsea, this never has to happen again.
But California isn't enough. Since then, the Kings, now joined by their son Tyler, run Chelsea's Light Foundation, a nonprofit raising millions in scholarships and campaigning for the nationwide adoption of Chelsea's Law.
What we're trying to do is write a law that will protect other families from ever having to have a Chelsea's Law, or Aaron's Law, or a Megan's Law, or a Jessica's Law. We don't want any of these laws. We want to keep this law extreme so that we don't have to keep naming a law after our dead children.
And through it all, just as Carrie does, the Kings take solace in knowing that, even though their daughter is gone, she'll never be alone.
I find comforting that we have these two little warriors. They're in heaven now. And they're not alone. Because Amber and Chelsea are now together.
Are you going now? Yes, she's fine. Bye. Bye.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today we still believe that you should get more from Les. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise, and we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra, and our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way...
A los 40 segundos de primer asalto, el referee para la pelea para el ganador por knockout técnico. The end comes officially 41 seconds, round number 1. Your winner by TKO, Ryan Problema Gandra.
I'm here with the winner, a very impressive Ryan Gandra. Congratulations, my friend. UFC debut, first round knockout. Do debuts get any better than that?
Acá con el ganador Ryan Gandra, qué debut tremendo. No puede ser mejor que este. O sea, knockout, primer asalto. Puede ser mejor. Podia ter sido uma estreia melhor do que esta. Primeiro assalto e perdeu o knockout. Falei com o Mike. Sou um irmão. Você me inspirou muito na minha carreira. Me deixou ver que eu não existisse. E eu falei com ele por 1 minuto. Você tava lá. Eu ia acabar com essa luta. Eu consegui. Obrigado pelo UFC, obrigado por essa oportunidade. E eu quero dizer que eu tô pronto. Tô pronto para qualquer situação. Tô pronto para nocautear qualquer um da categoria. E é isso aí. Galera, aí acompanha Ryan Gandra. E um recado para vocês, tá? O problema da categoria chegou. Yo dije a todos durante esta semana, yo dije, te prometí, estábamos conmigo. Yo dije, primer asalto, knockout, victoria. Yo prometí y yo lo hice, o sea, muy feliz y soy un aficionado, soy tremendo fan de Michael Bisping. Me dice, solo un mensaje a todos acá. Mira, el gran problema de la división ha llegado. Big fan of yours. And I said it during the meeting. First round, knockout, I came and did it. Just a message to everybody. The problem of his division is here. Well, certainly it's an amazing start to your UFC career. You get the knockout. But you've been doing martial arts since you were 7 years old. So what should the people here watching expect from you going forward? Bueno, tremendo debut, obviamente.
Bye.
His brains are in the back end.
It's not something you can just unsee. What do I do now?
They're after Jan right there. Listen, just for now, not me, it's not you.
She was on those until we walked over the smoke. Bam, do need some water, so.
It's all my friend because he just got snatched out of my body.
A young father is shot and killed right in front of his 4-year-old daughter. The brazen attack has all the marks
of a robbery or a street deal gone wrong. But what looks at first like a random crime begins to take on the shape of an insidious, orchestrated plot to commit murder.
Our experience, these don't happen at random. Basically, what I'm hearing is, well, there may be somebody crazy enough in the family to do it, but I don't know who that is. Who wants to do it?
I'm not a violent person.
Anybody who had any connection to this murder will go to prison.
The following report is based on official police records. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. On Sunday night, March 19th, 2023, 911 calls come in about a shooting in Navarre, Florida.
Sheriff Officer Martin today.
Hello, I just got off the phone with a family member that said that they just saw someone get shot at the apartment here again, Kyle Garage.
It was very neighbors when I started going down and I saw a man on the floor with blood. I stopped and I saw a man walking to the opposite direction. What is that man look like?
I know he's white, tall guy, about 6 feet, but I didn't see his face. He just walked away from the car. So I'm really nervous.
No, you're fine. You are doing a great job. You have nothing to worry about, okay?
Santa Rosa Sheriff's deputies swarm the apartment complex and quickly find their victim, along with a tragic bystander.
Hey, who's in here? Is there anyone in here?
No, Dad.
Okay. It's okay. Come here. What kind of shit that is? Okay, Bill. Start contacting neighbors. Ma'am, did you hear anything? It's okay. So where's he? Hey, listen. Where's Tommy working? Does he work? Where at? Change your house? Where's your house at? That's what it sounds like. Do you like scissors? Sticker? Sticker? You see it? You haven't put it on you? Okay, did you hear anything or see anything like that?
We just heard, we were both outside, he's my husband, we just heard a gunshot. It was from over there.
Talk to me.
He said that he told us to go inside because he said that he heard something. He said that he saw somebody drop. I don't know.
Let's go sit in my truck. It's cold outside. You want to sit in my truck? I know. Okay. We'll get the deputy in the field.
The scene filled with deputies and witnesses. It's a matter of time before the wires get crossed.
Hey, 235, detain him. Okay, listen, if it's not me, it's not you. Yeah.
No. Please tell him.
Okay, that's just protocol. If he's involved, okay. 235, he's possibly a witness. That's temporary witness. Hold on, man. Sorry. Let me get a ticket off. I'm gonna take him off. Let's see somebody up there and say it was you.
Okay.
Here, bro. Who's the guy you stole? What did he look like? What is he wearing?
Who's a white dude?
6-foot white male.
OCP, like this colored hat, and wearing a sweater as well. I'm pretty sure that when he was walking, he said, "Tell what you did," and he kept talking, but I couldn't hear anything else. I think around the board.
You know, we take this off if I get work to it. White guy, black guy. Tall or short?
I give it to you.
Heavy or thin?
No, a little bit bigger than you.
Okay.
Not much.
Meanwhile, the deputies attempt to do something that may be impossible. Bring comfort to this little girl.
Hey, baby. Do you like Skittles? No. You don't like Skittles? They like Hey, we're gonna try to get mommy, okay?
Nearby, deputies start knocking on doors.
So you guys heard anything in the last, like, 15 minutes? Yeah, I heard a gunshot. Pretty sure. Yeah, okay.
Fucking killed him. Dad right in front of his little girl.
Sorry, can you come out? Did you hear anything that sounded loud like a gunshot?
I thought it was my trash can popping. About 20 minutes ago.
About 20 minutes ago you heard? What?
You're dead. No, I got it.
It's a situation with several dimensions, many of them heartbreaking.
Hey, do you want me to see if somebody's got a teddy bear or something that you may want? I don't know. I'll go see if somebody's got something. I don't have anything either.
Finding out who this little girl is and where her family might be
time
found
to go
will
buy
first
something,
mean making a
motherfucker.
positive ID of her father.
Colby Vincent. That look like the victim?
I have a question.
You can ask me anything.
Victim? Yeah, shorter hair.
The tattoo? Mm-hmm. Well, we have these 777, so we want you guys to put a lead on just to verify, but we're not cutting and all that other stuff. So we suspected gunshot wound. Yeah. So.
Go ahead with that first.
I'm guessing in her head. In the back of the head. Yeah, you got blood spatter up on the door jamb.
Have a close description or anything?
That? Yeah, that's the paint. That's all paint.
Hey, is that him?
Looks like it.
Okay. I just was trying to recognize it because obviously he's blue.
I'd be willing to bet that's his car. He's got Toyota keys right next to him, sir. Looks like he was going inside the house and he walked up. Looking at the blood soak on his hoodie, it's all, it looks like someone just shot him in the back of the head. I bet you most of his brains are in the back of that hoodie.
Police confirm that the victim is 24-year-old Colby Vincent, but it's one of the few things about this crime scene that they're sure about.
What's your instinct telling you?
It's robbery. No, his wallet. I have his wallet. In the doorway, there's groceries and like some frozen like French fry stuff. Some bag. Fresh. That's his car there. He was unloading until he walked over and smoked it. I'd be willing to bet it's dope. It's all dope. He got a 420 chain in his. Yeah. It's definitely real.
Police also reflect on what they've heard from witnesses about the suspect's demeanor following the shooting.
They said they just pulled up on the motorcycle, heard the pop, and walked by. Hey, somebody just got shot.
Oh, that's him. He did it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Soon, a woman arrives at the scene who can perhaps shed new light on the victim.
Are your grandparents or?
Grandmother. Baby's grandmother.
Okay, I'll be right back.
This is my best friend. Her kids live upstairs. There's something going on over here. I just want to make sure that she's okay.
The woman says that she's the child's maternal grandmother, and she was concerned that something like this was looming in Kobe's future.
I'm Rachel's mama. Grandmother.
Okay.
What did he do?
That's what we're trying to figure out here. What's your name, ma'am?
Christina. Is Colby okay?
Colby is not okay. Colby is deceased.
What?
So that's why this is trying to figure out as much information about what's been going on with him lately.
Oh my God. When is this?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. What's been going on with Colby lately? What has he been involved with? Who's he been talking to? Anything?
Oh my God, to be honest with you, I haven't spoken to him in almost a year because we have been in a custody battle with him because he wanted her. He wants to know it's not something that we really wanted with the court case. I don't know what happened there. It all got screwed up. And they had
What's going on with the court?
after not seeing her for an entire year. This is the first time he saw her in a year. We need to get it out loud to the freaking judge.
That you were.
That we were scared of his lifestyle.
Inside Colby's apartment, police find stacks of cash as well as marijuana, discoveries that likely wouldn't surprise Christy.
He got infatuated with drugs, with marijuana. He swore to me that that's all he was doing. We've got pictures of him crossing acid, this, that, and the other. A lot of weight. He's a manager at some marijuana distribution place. I'm so sorry, but I'm trying not to throw up.
You're okay.
But I haven't seen him in a year, so has he straightened his life up? I don't know. Obviously, not.
Christie's description of Colby's lifestyle is informative, but the deputy has a more immediate question.
How did you get notified to come in?
Selling drugs.
Justin and Shelby live up in something like that. They called their mom. And that's my best friend. Kim is my best friend in the world.
So they called, said something bad had
They called me and said, look, there's cops everywhere over here. And Kim calls me, because that's just what we do. She calls me, she's like, hey, you know, I'm going to come get you, put your shoes on. I'm going to run over to the reserves and check on the kids.
Christie's presence on scene may be somewhat curious, but the most pressing issue of the night is finding the suspect.
I mean, I think this dude's probably taking shelter somewhere at this point. He knows what's going down.
They're either bunkered up in the woods right next door, or they live in here, or they already got a car.
Detectives will also have to talk to the child's mom, 25-year-old Rachel Moore, and let her know what happened tonight. They go to her house and gently break the news.
So, your daughter is fine. I cannot tell you a whole lot due to being an active criminal investigation, but Colby has passed away.
Where is...
She's safe. She's with your... I assume by now she's already with your mom. She's perfectly safe. Nothing has happened to her. But Colby has passed away. I can't tell you that.
Was she with...
I don't know all the details. Do you know of anybody that would want to hurt him?
I don't... God, pushed him out of my life as far as possible.
Sure.
So, am I supposed to call somebody and tell them, like, hey, the week didn't work out, I have my kid back? Like, I
what I would do is, you're a lawyer, right, for this? You got an attorney for the child custody?
Yeah.
Yeah, just let your lawyer know.
This investigation is still in its infancy, but the detectives find the timing of this custody dispute more than a little coincidental.
It's our experience, these don't happen at random. In regards to custody, is there anybody that would have wanted to harm Colby in regards to that?
No, none of us liked the idea, but none of us actually hurt him. I mean, that's ridiculous.
The next day, the detectives will bring Christy and Rachel to the station to determine whether this possibility is so ridiculous after all. But tonight, there's one last notification to make.
Are you the father of Colby Vincent? Stepfather. Stepfather? Megan? Yes. No, it's not.
After a night of unthinkable tragedy, the detectives begin the next day trying to understand the dynamic between Rachel and Colby.
In a relationship, Colby and Rachel had before they split.
Before they split? Sure, I mean, it was nice, I guess. I got lied to for a long time, but...
What'd you get lied to about?
He started down on path with marijuana. And then he was he was swearing to me that's all he's doing. You know, and I'm telling Rachel, look, this is what he's telling me. He's telling me that's all he's doing. She said, Mom, it's not it. Then I find out that he's selling, dude.
He would smoke and drive. He would drop
Smoke
acid.
weed.
Smoke weed and drive. He would drop acid and drive around. He would
With her in the car?
Yes, with her in the car. After 6 months of my kid being born and me trying to get him to better his life, hey, like, buddy, you cannot be the drug dealer with a baby because it puts her in a dangerous situation. I need to go home. If you want to clean up your act and come to my house with me, you can. So I brought him here.
You're not selling dope at my house. Drug test me, take my hair, take my urine, whatever you want. You're not doing that at my house.
He just didn't get his stuff together. So I finally just said, look, this is too much for me. You've got to go. If you're leaving wet wipes in her diaper long enough to cause extreme blisters, if you're going to do these things to her, you said you wanted to take her to the beach with your family, that's fine. I sent you a spray-on sunscreen. You returned her with extreme water blisters. Like, I asked why you didn't use it. You said, you don't like the way it feels on your hands. It's spray-on.
Yeah.
Please just use it. I sent it with you.
It doesn't take long.
Yeah.
Very minimal effort.
Very minimum effort.
Rachel tells the detectives that she and Colby separated when her daughter was around 14 months old.
he could only afford to see her for a couple hours on a Saturday while I went to work, and then I came home, or I came to get her, and he was shaking her, and he told me shaken baby syndrome was just a myth, and I was like, it's not, there's billboards about it, I'll quit my job, I don't care, I don't need this.
Rachel says these limited visitations continued until the courts came after Colby's paycheck.
I had her under government assisted and government assisted health insurance, and whenever you do that, they go after the other parent for child support. Well, whenever that went through, 14 days later, he turned around and said, oh, well, all of a sudden, I can get her 50-50. I'm definitely not comfortable with that. At that point, I got, and he said that if she gets hurt on his watch, it's just as much my fault as it would be his fault, because there is nothing in writing or anything that says that she was supposed to be there or he was the one with her. So if she accidentally grabs his Coke or acid or whatever he leaves laying around and eats it and overdoses and dies, I go to jail because of child neglect and abuse and death. And just, so I said no.
Rachel says that she cut Colby out of their daughter's life for the next 10 years.
I didn't want her to be put in a situation because I could see that this is where his life was going. What if she saw this? Then where do you go? That's not something you can just unsee.
This is among Christie's top concerns as well.
How much did she see and how trauma, you know? Kids are resilient, I understand that. Because
she didn't see anything. Obviously she discloses, Mr. Troll will talk about more avenues after that. When you were taking her home, did she say anything?
On the way home, she says, Daddy slipped him on the porch. She was buying medicine.
Back with Rachel, the detectives take her back to the day her custody dispute with Colby finally went in front of a judge.
It absolutely sucked. I went in, and since it got moved up a couple days, my side of the case and everything didn't get turned in time, so it really looked like I just said, no, I don't want you to see our kid anymore, bye, and then turned around 10 months later and said no again. She didn't turn in, she didn't get to see any of my parenting classes, anything that I did, and it was any of the pictures, any of the evidence, anything. She really looked at me and told me that I was a spiteful mother. They said, we're gonna do week to week. I said, okay.
This judgment giving Colby 50-50 custody was handed down on Monday, March 13th, only 6 days before Colby was shot. His stepfather says it was an emotional day.
We walk in the room. Colby's just crying. It's like, oh no, what happened? And the lawyer said, don't worry, those tears of joy.
The decision was made that the 4-year-old girl would go to her father on Sunday, and an arrangement was made to do the handoff in the parking lot of a local supermarket.
What time did you drop her off?
6:30.
6:30? And where was that?
But I knew to be there because...
That's in the bar?
Yeah, it says it right here.
Did you actually physically hand her off to him?
No, I figured it would probably be easiest and best for our child if my mom handed her to him and said, hey, this is what's going to happen. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you later. And she asked him, hey, I know you have to work this week. Do you need child care? I'm right here. I can even come do it at your house if you want. He said, no, I've got it all figured out. Tell Nunu you'll see her on Sunday. And then just turned around and walked away.
Colby's parents, who drove him that day, said that he was ecstatic to be reunited with his daughter.
And he goes, I'll see you. And I said, hold on, you want me to follow you and video it? And he said, no, I got it. Well, and then we saw him coming back. And the meatball's over. And he was just like, grinning from ear to ear.
We could see him walking across the parking lot. They were both smiling and talking. So we didn't want to get it. So we were ready to eat. And they come up and she was showing us her new cowgirl boots.
The couple brought Colby and his daughter back to his apartment, where they'd made up a bedroom especially for her.
Hey, you want to see your new room? Yeah. She goes back there, and of course, Megan and her mother had it all decorated with all new toys and a new bed. And she just diving into her toys, playing with them.
We told him we were going to go because we wanted him to be able to spend time alone. And when we went home,
It's just sad how happy he was. But that was Sunday.
On Rachel's side of the family, the mood last night was darker, but she insists they had nothing to do with Colby's murder.
we'll pray about it, we give it to God. That's who we are. We're not, let's start a war, or that's not us. I'm not a violent person.
Who could be a violent person?
I don't keep violent people around me.
Okay, so I want to put you in my shoes for just a second and make you
understand.
Well, and this is why we're trying to clear out as many people as we can and talk to as many people as we can, and this is why. Okay, so we'll start with going back to court. Okay, obviously this has been a long standing court battle, and it did not go in your favor. So the very day that he gets to meet up and take his daughter, who he hasn't seen in
almost a year, yeah,
he turns up deceased.
Right, you can see why I'm panicking.
Okay.
I know how this looks for me, y'all.
I know.
And in the category of things that don't look quite right, the detectives ask again about the odd way Christy materialized at the scene last night.
How did you come to find out what was going on?
I'm nosy. She is nosy. You know, in that apartment complex, my mom's got a best friend that has kids that are 30, 40 years old. I don't know how old they are, but they live there too with their kids. We were nervous about her being gone for a week. We really were. So I called them. I'm like, hey, just keep an eye out. If you see her out at the park, or, you know, you see her around, just let me know that she's okay. I guess the police woke up Dustin. So he said, Mom, it's downstairs. I don't know, but I'm just letting you know there's a lot of cops here. She's like, hey, I'm gonna grab a Ken somewhere. I said, oh, okay, it's late, but okay, I didn't think anything of it.
But the detectives find it strange that Christy didn't tell Rachel that police were all over Colby's apartment complex.
It's odd that information did not get pushed to you.
Why stress me out more, knowing that my world's already stressed at max?
Well, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't
I go?
Yeah. If there was something going on there, why would you not want to be there? Why would?
Because I'm not nosy. Because if I can stay at home and try to go to sleep instead of stressing out and stalking my baby daddy, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. As far out of sight, out of mind goes, that's what I'm gonna try to do. It wasn't my choice to hand her over. It was the judge's. I had to, because otherwise, contempt of court, I go to jail.
But you can see how all these scenarios are going to work out in your favor on the same day that he winds up dead. You can understand how conveniently that ends up working in your favor, right?
Okay. Well, how can I make it not? Because you know where I was, you know who I was with, you know what I was doing, you know who I contacted. What else can I do other than flat out tell you?
Well, who else could have done this?
I do not know. This is why I did not want my child there.
Rachel insists she had nothing to do with it, but Colby's mother and ex-girlfriend have suspicions to the contrary.
Can you think of anybody that would want to harm Colby in this manner?
People would think of her.
And why is that?
Because she did me in. Whenever he told me he got custody of her, I, in the back of my mind was, really scared for him because I knew how much, she wanted to be in control over the whole situation. I don't know why, but I just felt like something was going to happen to him, but I tried not to, think about that. Rachel's fiance was posting pictures with guns and money and stuff on his Instagram, and then set it to private just recently.
Santa Rosa detectives speak to him as well, hoping he may have answers they aren't getting from Rachel and her mother.
In this game, coincidences typically are not coincidences. I don't think it's a coincidence. You know, the same night that the custody exchange happens for the first time in a year and a half, Colby gets killed in front of his apartment, right? I don't think that's a coincidence, right? I think that there's more at play here. I can certainly understand why, right? Someone would get that upset, right? I'm a father, I've got 2 kids. If all of a sudden I'm gonna have to turn my kids over to a deadbeat drug user, there is not a thing in this world I wouldn't do to prevent that from happening. Right.
We're trying to legal way.
Right. You don't know anybody that would have possibly done this on Rachel's behalf. Okay. Did Rachel ever tell you that she was gonna have someone kill him?
No.
Okay. Do you think Rachel's capable of having someone kill him?
Honestly, I don't.
Is there anybody else who lives in the neighborhood there that has a violent history that maybe would have done this?
Not that I know of.
And I find it strange that you all keep saying not that I know of, because that's the same words that she said, not that I know of, not that I know of, right? Because I know for a fact there's nobody that's going to go kill somebody on my behalf.
Honestly, we live on a circle. I stay at the back side of it. Whatever happens on the front side of it.
Right. So, I mean, basically what I'm hearing is, well, there may be somebody crazy enough in the family to do it, but I don't know who that is.
Possibility.
In her interview, Rachel says that the first time she knew anything was amiss last night was when her mom sent her a 3-word text. Answer the door.
So when I answered the door and it was detectives, and they had all of that to say, I panicked. I said, "Where's my kid? What do I do now?" And I'm still in that situation. What do I do now? That's where I'm at. Because what do you do now? It's because you flat out said this isn't what you want to happen, because this might happen, and then it happens.
But the detectives are skeptical that Rachel was as surprised as she claims.
You know, I'm trying to give you this opportunity to be real clear about what, maybe even an idea you have in your head about something that could have happened. And the reason why I say that is we have a picture of the person who did this. I don't want you to be caught off guard if it turns out it's someone you know. Because if it does turn out that you're withholding information, our investigation leads to you withholding information, then how would that work out?
But I don't know.
The investigators take her phone. When she steps into the hallway to complain, a detective lays out some hard facts. They know exactly who killed Colby, and furthermore, they know that she's been communicating with the killer. Her response is to become silent and stare at the floor.
I know it was something to do with her. I feel like she was really upset that Colby won custody. Her and her mom are very, like, not good people. And I feel like, I know they probably did that.
The detective tells Rachel that they know she reached out to her former stepfather in Alabama, a man named Jason Curtis. The detective invites Rachel and her mother to go back into the interview room, where the two have a brief but intriguing exchange.
He knows. He knows. I'm gonna say that she's calling me. I called him.
Did you tell your mom what's going on?
No, I figured I could tell us all at the same time. This is something I need to sit down with.
Yes.
Yeah, you might. I'm gonna sit on with them.
Okay.
Would you let me run the trash can? That probably wouldn't be a bad idea, so Tom Dixon's probably lose the chance.
But as Christy struggles to keep it down, her daughter starts coughing it up.
I called Booker on Monday and told him about the court date with Jason Curtis. And I was panicking and he told me not to worry about it. There wouldn't be something you gotta worry about. And I messaged him, told him everything that was going on. And he had sent me pictures of knives and guns and some Renaissance. But I didn't think anything of it because he lived far away and he's just... I told him thanks for making me feel better. Just genuinely just needed to know. Just needed you to heal.
What did he send you
pictures of the knives they done? Is it on text message, Facebook?
Messenger, but I thought that was to have.
Facebook
After what I deleted that immediately as soon as everything hit the fan, I was like, oh wow, this is probably bad. This probably looks awful. I told him throughout the week, and I was telling him because he talks to me. I grew up with him as my backbone of the dad. Like, my dad wasn't around much, but he was. So
You think he would actually come down here and shoot him?
I don't know, but he did tell me not to worry about it, and he called last night and said that I don't have to worry about it, everything's fine.
What did you say?
What are you talking about? Huh? He said, yeah, you don't have to worry about it, it'll be fine, but I gotta go. And he just hung up. But I gotta go. You know, in the wind. Gotta go.
And that's what he told you?
Yeah. I was like, what?
Ma'am, you okay? You need some water or something?
No.
Ma'am, do you need some water or something?
I don't know what I do right now. The soul, I think, is just gonna snatch out of my body.
These are disturbing revelations, but there's still much about this case that remains unknown.
When you give him the update, did you see anything else? Anything that would make him believe, like, I need to do this?
Other than your daughter crying, puking, other than saying I did everything that I could, I don't know.
Did Jason know him while you guys were dating?
I know.
How did he know where he lived at?
I don't know.
Did you give that information that had his address on it to anybody?
Now listen, I want to make sure you understand when we do a forensic download of your phone, it's not going to capture just what we did on our phone. If we have to come back later and say, well, what's this? Then that's not going to look good, right?
You're my bad later a lot. I didn't think he would. Told him I would pay for his gas. I think this looks awful for me.
Did you actually?
No, I didn't. When I'm telling you, I didn't know. I didn't know. When I got the call, I didn't know.
Keep saying it. Keep saying it, you guilty bitch.
This looks so bad for me.
Keep fucking saying it, you guilty
Still
bitch.
feel like they haven't gotten the whole story.
So after you talked to him on Monday, did you talk to him again after that, or was it just Monday and then that was it?
I don't know. It was Monday. Friday. I think I talked to him all weekend, which makes it look even worse.
Did you know any of this, Mom?
No, I did not know any of this. Why would you put my daughter in that situation?
Is he?
Why wouldn't he? Okay, this sounds, especially coming probably to a car and wait until my kid was gone. Why?
Do y'all know him to be violent in nature like this?
Booger, yes.
I would never think that he would actually kill somebody.
The detective showed up at your house and told you that
I wanted to puke.
Colby was killed.
I immediately asked where my kid was, if she saw anything. I thought, I didn't know what happened. I didn't know if she had seen anything. I thought, oh my God, how could you do this to her? How could you do this to me? What's the situation you're gonna put us all in? I panicked.
The news that her ex-husband may be responsible for Colby's death leaves Christy needing some air, but she leaves Rachel with a final devastating thought.
That's not our decision, and that's not what we're doing right now. Okay, I don't want you to think that.
Hear that. I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't want you to go that direction. We haven't mentioned that to anybody. We haven't even made any phone calls. So I don't want you to jump to conclusions right now.
Please don't do that. I didn't do this.
I don't want you to jump ahead right now. Okay?
Sir, can I get out my way?
Yes, ma'am. Somebody will come in.
Sir, please. I didn't do this. I'm sorry. Without that, please don't take her.
With Christy out of of the room, the detectives zero in on just how much Rachel knew when Jason called her last night.
What he says to you makes you so sick to your stomach.
When he said, I gotta go, I can't talk right now, I gotta put my in the wind.
What did you believe?
I believed that he was here. I believed that he heard him and that my kid had to witness it and that it was going to come on to me and that he just ruined my life. I've never been more scared in my life. Sitting right here with all of my cards laid on the table.
This shit is fucking nuts.
In your hands.
People are fucking idiots. Just kill their fucking
I
babies,
did
dad.
not do this. I did not.
Right in front of him.
He would do this. I did know, I did have an idea of who it would have been early on. And I'm sorry I withheld that. But it scared me right out the get-go because of the fact that look how it looks for me.
The detectives ask her about any messages that may look particularly damning once they recover them.
They're kind of bad. Like the one that says, at this point I would pay for your gas money if it meant I didn't have to wet my sheets at 25 years old. That's gonna look really bad for me. The pictures of, take your pick of the swords or the knives and I jokingly said whatever would be easiest to carry. It says, well, maybe I need to go hunting. I said, well, I have an address. It's not even much of a hunting party. That's in text messages. That's gonna look very bad.
The detectives wrap up their conversation with Rachel and make their exit. It isn't long until she gets antsy to leave.
What?
Can I help you, man?
I'm just in here.
Is there anything you need for the moment, or I can check with the detectives you were talking to? I think they're doing something at the moment. Just have a quick seat. I'll confirm them.
And I'm gonna be my phone back, and we're done with our questions. And I just...
So, I said I'm working this case, so I gotta see if they have anything else for you.
Okay.
Just, if you wanna have a seat again, I'll go get them, okay?
If Rachel is in a hurry to get this investigation to the next stage, the detectives decide they can accommodate her.
Rachel, we talked to our state attorney, based on all the information. He's advised we're going to place you under arrest right now, okay? I don't want you to fight us or anything about this right now. So, Jen, this is just a very early part of the investigation, and
If you place me under arrest for something that I didn't do, it goes on my record and everybody can see it.
it doesn't. This is just the first step, okay? Well, you got to give yourself a chance to come clean and being honest. It really does make a difference in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah?
Going to the county jail is not a prison sentence. Okay? So don't treat it that way. Okay? But it's just part of what has to happen.
What am I being arrested for?
Right now we're gonna charge you with tampering, and they're gonna look at accessory after the fact charges. Okay?
Accessory to murder? I didn't do this.
Rachel has to wait for her transport to jail, which gives her time to ponder the situation she's in.
Honestly, my next step is to sit still. Sit still and be told what to do next. Let somebody else make me a bird in a cage. It feels like the longer I live, the more of a show it just becomes. Somebody else shoots somebody else. Then I get arrested with homicide charges. I think I'm ready for a nap, bro. Oh, man. I'm going to the jailhouse. They give you new clothes. Guess what? I don't have any freaking panties on. These handcuffs. I can't even work properly.
Is this the
Lawyer that advised me not to speak to you guys today? He said I can pretty much guarantee you that if you go in there and talk to them today, they're going to arrest you.
While this prediction seems to have come true, police know that Rachel wasn't the one who pulled the trigger last night. To track down Jason Curtis, they'll have to rely on the cooperation of the police in Coleman County, Alabama, who are planning to move in soon. In the meantime, the next chapter in Rachel's life begins.
Have you ever been to jail before?
Not the county jail.
Okay. Yeah, it's not as bad as you see on movies and stuff. You'd be okay. Especially Santa
Honestly,
Rosa.
yeah, toilet paper, I'm good.
Yeah, our jail's not, the Scanian's jail's terrible, but our jail, it won't be that bad.
I'm not worried about jail being bad. I'm worried about my child being arrested for something that I didn't do. My baby daddy got shot, and I am going to jail, even though I have no gun residue on me. I'm wondering if I'll ever get to see my daughter again. I'm wondering if my freaking Diet Coke is flat. Pretty.
Police lights will flash again the next morning when deputies in Alabama arrest 53-year-old Jason Curtis a few blocks from his home.
Look at this happened. From what I was told, it happened Sunday. I was at work Sunday. We're right down here on 69 Highway, right across the S&S. Yeah. There was no other day. But you are being placed under arrest for that warrant right now. And Florida's on their way up here in that particular county or city or whatever it is the officer you're coming from there. But you do have to commence on it. Anything you say can't do, she'll do.
Rachel's mind may have been all over the place last night, but Jason keeps coming back to a single word.
What we're going to do is stupid. It's stupid. I was in the infantry for 12 years. Guys, it's stupid. Y'all know my dog. Y'all know what my, you know.
But even before they get Jason Curtis in an interrogation room, the deputies find something that may be of some relevance.
That gun in the car is probably the one he used.
The .38 special revolver in Jason's truck is neither the first nor the last piece of evidence connecting him to a murder he says he knows nothing about.
So the reason we're here is there was a warrant put out for your arrest, alright, for the murder of Colby Vincent. Does that name even sound familiar to you?
No.
Alright. You have a stepdaughter, Rachel, correct?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a stepdaughter named Rachel?
Yes.
Okay. What was Rachel's ex-boyfriend?
Okay, I didn't know his name.
Okay. Alright, so this incident, obviously, you've been given some details, happened on Sunday, this past Sunday. Can you tell us where you were at all day?
Yeah, I was home most of the day.
Okay. Was anybody home with you?
My wife.
Okay. Can she verify that?
I don't really want to answer any questions till I know what's going on. I know Rachel was having trouble with something like custody, but I ain't had nothing to do with that family in 15 years.
What do you know about the custody stuff?
All I know is that Rachel and didn't want him to have the baby, and I don't know what happened.
I'm just gonna put it out there. You're lying. I can tell.
I was home that morning.
Because we already talked to your wife.
Yeah. Well, we did go to Florida.
And what time did you guys go to Florida?
I don't know what time of the day it was. It was around lunchtime, I guess.
Jason's new admission that he traveled nearly 300 miles to Florida on Sunday matches the story told by his girlfriend, Angela Fawcett.
I miss the beach so much, and I talk about it all the time. And so it was like spur of the moment. You know, let's just, you know, we've just got the day, let's just drive down there.
Yeah.
And
when was this?
Sunday morning. He wanted to show me where he used to live. So we went through Milton, I think. And then it was the next little town, Navarre. The only person I remember him talking to was the guy at the liquor store, because it's the liquor store he always went to. And, you know, they used to play music together because he's a musician.
You remember what liquor store it is?
I don't remember the name of it. It was right next to like a sports bar and grill or something.
Not only has Angela admitted being in Navarre Sunday night, the couple's trip to the liquor store puts them in the very same Publix parking lot that the child custody exchange took place. Surveillance cameras at the sports bar Angela mentioned show a Volkswagen Beetle matching hers driving into the parking lot at 6:27 p.m. and leaving at 6:51 p.m. The custody exchange happened precisely between those times.
Well, I just want to let you know that Rachel went to jail yesterday for accessory to first-degree murder.
What's she got to do with it?
Well, she's fixing to spend the rest of her life in prison. Now, I want you to be the person to stand up and say, are you the reason that she's in prison right now and that she's in jail?
No, She asked me if I had a room so she could go stay with me. And I told her that she'd be brave as long as we kidnapped.
Did you talk to Rachel at all while you were down in Florida?
While I was down in Florida?
No. Let's talk about your communication. What kind of conversations have you had with Rachel recently?
Yes, mostly about she's just upset.
Real upset?
Yeah, very upset. She said she had pictures of...
What kind of information did Rachel share with you?
All she said was the court ruled in his favor and they wouldn't even look at the pictures of where the baby would have used and burnt. She said that he was selling drugs out of that apartment.
So what did you do to help take care of her?
Nothing. I told her to pay attention to her mother. What can I do?
What did you do is the question.
I'm not going to do the rest of my life for something I did not do.
But you don't let Rachel do it.
There's nothing I can do about it.
So it's an accident that we're sitting in front of you?
No, it's not.
The mom did it and blaming it on the fucking ex-husband.
In handcuffs.
Because you believe I shot somebody? Well, since I did, you can't prove it. So I don't know what to tell you.
How do you know the victim was shot? No one told you that.
They told me that this morning.
Who did?
The guy that had me down on the highway. It was 69 highway when I was arrested.
The detective notes in his report that Jason was not told this by the Coleman County Sheriff's Office, who only stated that the arrest warrant was for murder. Regardless, the detective says it's remarkable how far his story has come in such a short time.
When we started this conversation, you said you was at home all day.
No, they asked if I was at home at all that day.
You started that. It wasn't until you said that we talked to the wife that you said, yeah, we went to Florida.
There no information until I found out what was going on.
Right, that's a big part of the day. A 5-hour drive. What you do on Sunday? I don't know. We sat around the house. Oh, we also took a 5-hour drive.
Well, first we said it was in your damn business.
No, you're fishing out information. You're trying to figure out how much you know. But we don't know that you're sitting there. I just want you to have the opportunity to prove where your true loyalty is.
My loyalty lies with her.
You're a tough enough guy to drive down and murder somebody for your stepdaughter, but you're not man enough to say you did it to protect her. But you're gonna let her ride for this crime and lose her child. That's how much you're gonna take care of it. So did you really take care of it?
Something I didn't do. I can't help what's going on with her. I would help her. Yes, they're going down there and commit murder. No.
Meanwhile, the shocking seriousness of the situation dawns on Angela.
I didn't want Jason to drag a lot of people down with him. You know what I mean? Like Jason made a bad decision in the heat of the moment. I think based on what he was trying to do the right thing to help her out.
Killing me, kill somebody. This can't be real.
But as upset as she is, Angela says that Jason would never do such a thing, and that furthermore, he didn't have the opportunity.
The only person we talked to in Florida was the liquor store guy that he used to go to that liquor store all the time. There was no out with anybody, and the only time we were apart was like when we went to the bathroom.
Where did y'all stop to go to the bathroom?
Where did we stop?
That was a gas station you was in?
Yeah.
Do you remember what was around you? I mean, what was like, what, anything else that was around the Tom?
I think there was a hotel.
Both a Tom Thumb gas station and a Hampton Inn hotel can be found in close proximity to the Cayo Grande apartments. But Angela insists that Jason was never out of her sight for more than a few short minutes. The detectives turn up the heat on Jason, hoping that Angela's predicament will push him to confess.
How far do you want to keep taking this? How many people do you want to see in jail tonight? Well, right now you got Rachel, you got you got your wife. So you don't think it's a crime to drive someone across state lines to commit a murder? But you're gonna let all kinds of people go to prison for kindness for weakness, okay? Don't insult my intelligence. Well, then use your intelligence and realize the big picture here. We've been watching your house since 3 o'clock in the morning.
I had this knock on the door.
And then the second that your wife left for work this morning after waking you up, she was detained and her car was impounded, and we're doing a search warrant on the car right now, and she's fixing to get charged and extradited to Florida for accessory to first-degree murder.
Because she has nothing to do with it.
Because that's what I with me the whole time. No, because that's what I exactly. She was with you the whole time. She was with you the whole time. That's exactly what she said too.
I don't understand. If I was going to do it, nobody would know about it.
I think that's what you tried to accomplish and didn't happen. So talk about sending her a picture of a choice of weapons, swords, knives, gun. What's the best option?
I sent her that picture. Also sent her a picture of my motorcycles, my guitars, and everything.
Quit diverting. Why? All you're going to keep saying is that, yes, all the evidence says, well, all the evidence looks bad. All the evidence points to me. All the evidence looks bad. I was there the day he was shot. I was there. I was there. I was there. You're going to say that over and over and over and over and over again, and the only thing you're going to go with is, I didn't shoot the man? Why are you lying about it? How many do you understand who's going to go to prison for this for you? Understand how the law works. Let me give you the example of a bank robbery. If the bank robbery happens here, but this person who's not even at the bank robbery rents the car that they do the robbery in, that person goes to jail for bank robbery. Anybody who had any connection to this murder will go to prison. Maybe you could just own it for a minute.
I didn't kill the man.
Save your wife.
Okay. Not admitting something I didn't do.
But despite Jason's steadfast commitment to his story, detectives find one last crucial piece of evidence in the car he and Angela took to Florida.
In the Senate Council, I thought you were here. We found this note. So we can take a look at the note.
What does that say?
So it says 77
Yes, I know the numbers, but I can't make.
Rio Grande, Nevada.
That's a word? Red toy
Red.
by Vincent.
Colby Vincent.
I mean, this handwriting matches all the notes and stuff that are in.
Oh, it looks like his handwriting.
Well, that's the note that we found that was inside of your car, and that's the name, that's the address. Where the murder
I gotta grab my drone.
You weren't aware of that information at all?
I love him. I can't believe this. I'm not going to.
Are you upset because he got caught, or are you upset because you didn't know this was happening? You didn't know this happened kind of in front of you.
I'm not stupid or anything.
You killed the person whose name is on that piece of paper, who drives that car, who's in the presence of that little girl. You 100% did that.
A couple months later, detectives get their first real look at the data from Jason's cell phone. It locates him at the Cayo Grande apartment complex from 7:56 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on the night of the murder. It shows him returning to the parking lot at 8:45 p.m. before leaving again at 9:39. The police report states that the shooting was reported to the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office at 9:43 p.m.
I know Rachel didn't know she did, man, so, and I didn't, so what am I supposed to say?
A ballistics test later matches the bullet that killed Kobe to Jason's revolver.
No, I'm gonna end up my day before going down on that three, and I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna say, hold me and bullet.
Jason is charged with murder, and as the detectives warned him, he wouldn't be the last to wind up in handcuffs.
You guys have your IDs on you? One of you, Christina Moore?
Yeah?
Is that you?
Yeah.
All right, can you step out and talk to me real quick?
What? I mean,
Just step out with me right quick, okay? Go ahead and step out with me, okay? Can you turn around and put your hand behind your back for me? Hang on, and I'll let you go. Just hang tight.
don't hurt me.
I'm not going to hurt you. As long as you don't pull away from me or anything. She has a warrant for her arrest.
For what? For what?
Accessory after the fact.
Not my actual.
Capital felony.
For what? Money's in the safe and call. Keith.
It was a $150,000 bond.
$150,000 bond for what?
She'll see when she gets to jail.
In their investigation, police found that an account belonging to Christy Moore transferred $100 to Jason Curtis using the Walmart payment app on the day of the murder. Perhaps not coincidentally, Rachel sent her mother $100 through Cash App that same day.
My God, y'all come in 3 deep to arrest me?
Yeah,
Have y'all?
It's a capital felony. It's an investigation.
But I didn't do it.
Well, hey, look, I don't know anything about the case. I just know what the warrant's for.
Holes.
In an unsent letter from jail, Jason wrote, "Christy, I have a tremendous amount of love in my heart. It belongs to no one but you," suggesting that his feelings for her had not faded over the years.
That son of a...
Investigators find that Jason called Christy's phone at 6:34 p.m. on the night of the murder, right at the time the child custody exchange was happening in the Publix parking lot. By the time police looked at her phone, that number had been deleted from her contacts. It should be noted that in a call recorded by the jail, Jason suggested that Rachel may have been using her mother's phone to communicate with him.
I'm being arrested.
You are?
Out of damn things are getting 25 years.
Watch your hip.
Down with the head. Have boom.
Huh?
It's down with the head. Smash my boom.
Yeah, sorry.
Guess this makes more sense as to why they wouldn't give me my grandbaby if they think I had something to do with it.
Like I said, I have absolutely nothing to do with it.
Vented to my ex-husband. And he did this, not me.
While Christina Moore was arrested for accessory after the fact in April, news reports say the state attorney dropped the charges in January 2025, stating only that recently discovered evidence had made prosecution essentially impossible. But that still left a few loose ends for case investigators.
Trouble for being with him.
That's what I want to avoid.
Because Angela Fawcett didn't tell police that she and Jason were at the Cayo Grande apartments twice on the night of the murder, she was charged with accessory after the fact, capital felony, in 2024. Her case is still ongoing.
This man gets shot. I had no gun residue on me. I was where I was supposed to be, doing what I was supposed to do. And I myself for his murder.
Rachel Moore was tried and convicted of first-degree premeditated murder and tampering with evidence in April 2025. She was sentenced to a mandatory term of life without parole, leaving behind a little girl who may have inadvertently solved the case before anyone.
Mommy did it? Mommy did what?
Was also charged with first-degree premeditated murder. In May 2024, Jason Lane Curtis was convicted and sentenced to a term of natural life in prison. According to his grandfather, the innocent young girl who was only 4 when this time was adopted by Cody's mother, Megan. If you'd like to see select new videos, the man believed to have pulled the trigger that night was also charged with first-degree premeditated murder. In May 2024, Jason Lane Curtis was convicted and sentenced to a term of natural life in prison. According to a victim impact statement written by Colby's grandfather, the innocent young girl who was only 4 when this nightmare unfolded in front of her eyes was adopted by Colby's mother, Megan. If you'd like to see select new videos early and help us keep uncovering case files that rarely come to light, you'll find extra footage and unseen detail.
People that kill somebody and take their fucking dad away.
The Seal Beach Police Department released this video of women who learned the hard way about California's new law. The Seal Beach Police Department released this video of women who learned the hard way about California's new law.
mean, it's just Orange County, bitch. They don't play.
Prop 36 is something that would bring back harsher penalties for theft and certain drug crimes. Now, this is something that voters overwhelmingly approved last month by nearly 70%. Prop 36 reverses Prop 47, which passed back in 2014, reducing some felonies to misdemeanors.
Before Prop 36 went into place Wednesday, suspects arrested for stealing merchandise under $950 only faced a misdemeanor, and it didn't matter how many previous tickets they had. They didn't spend any time in jail and could keep on shoplifting.
Definitely our officers are feeling more empowered. We're feeling like, we're not just, racking up another citation. Our officers feel like what they're doing matters and that they want to do the extra legwork to make sure that we get a good conviction.
Last August, here at Glendale's Americana Shopping Center, a brazen robbery happened at the Yves Saint Laurent store, where at least 30 thieves stormed the luxury retailer in broad daylight, stealing $300,000 worth of merchandise. Supporters of Prop 36 say it's a necessary step to address the rise in retail theft and drug-related crimes, but critics, including Governor Gavin Newsom, warned that the measure could unfairly impact vulnerable communities and strain already limited treatment resources.
It's about mass incarceration. It's about bringing it back to 1980s mindset, where it's possession of drugs and you end up in state prison at the cost of $100,000.
Dude, go fuck off. That dude needs to be taken out, dude. That needs to be, motherfucker.
I think that America should remain a white majority nation. I mean, the people here that say that, wanting to preserve that, and as a white man, you wanting your children to look like you is inherently bad or racist, I think that's incredibly wrong. I feel like every race, honestly, has that inherent nature of wanting your children to look like you and reflect you as a person. But for people to act like white men kind of rule the world, or white people in general rule the world, is such a fallacy, because it's actually a massive minority when it comes to the world population.
They did bomb threats to my brother in America. 3 FBI agents visited him at his college soccer dorm because they did bomb threats to my brother in America. They go after people's families. They go so hard, and so 100% it's existential threat. If you go really hard criticizing the Chinese government, they will literally hunt you down to the ends of the earth, and they'll go after all your family members.
So what you're saying is Billie Eilish is a CCP?
I think that's what we're from this.
I don't want to be sued by Billie Eilish. I don't think she's a CCP agent, but I think her lawyers potentially weaponized my history as an activist against me.
I don't want to get you in any more trouble than you already are.
Well, I've been fired before too, but we just say things that are not orthodox in our liberal hegemonic society where everything's fake and gay, and so if you just say the truth, you just say the truth, and oh no, you're a terrible person. It's the Trump hand.
Trump hand. He gets passionate when Trump hands come out.
Yeah, but I just say inconvenient truths, not out of hate, but out of love for goodness, truth, and beauty.
Priya Patel might be described as a newcomer of sorts to the political world, but nobody would say that she didn't announce herself effectively.
And you're telling me that all cultures are equal and we need to allow them to come into the United States and we just need to embrace them?
Nope.
No. Just no.
Now, while this wasn't her first foray into the public sphere,
It's not true on a large scale that men are constantly, or have in history constantly, oppressed women.
it is one that caused the biggest firestorm, and that firestorm was felt on both sides of the political spectrum, and from one country in particular. Gangmin Lee is not someone you describe as shy to share his opinion.
Find a boyfriend or girlfriend, get married, have children.
Yeah, you can pull it up. I said that liberal women who dehumanize people, I celebrate that.
You did not say liberal women. You did not say liberal women.
The context is...
There's no context. Your language...
Do you mind if I can...
I'm going to finish. Your language is dehumanizing. You target every kind of identity that's represented. I'm embarrassed that we're just realizing it.
And in sharing those opinions, he's not always been so kindly rewarded. Namely, getting
And I was just fired from my job for my conservative beliefs.
and being consistently framed as the model minority, quote-unquote, bootlicker. Their words, not mine. Finally, Drew Powell. Drew is, well, he's one of a kind. Trolleys. They have and they don't have concerning pop star Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish reported me to ICE. He got me deported to the US. I managed to get Hollywood celebrities, left-wingers, liberals to agree with ICE, to agree with border control. They suddenly support deportation. But Drew's been at this long before he was the bad guy. This includes trips to war zones and grocery stores alike, and most notoriously being persona non grata of the Chinese Communist Party.
Rather than coming to the defense of a student who's under attack, the University of Queensland stands accused of siding with China.
These three, Priya, Kongman, and Drew, represent a growing contingent of young political personalities that are challenging the long-held narratives of who can and even who should hold right-wing views. What does it mean to be American? Who can be American? Should Western nations stay white countries or give it to diversity? What are the biggest threats to Western civilization in general? Well, that's what we hope to find out. All right, so welcome, Kongman, welcome, Priya. Thank you for flying in from opposite sides of the country to join us. I won't say who swear, you can dox each other in the comments afterwards. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. 3 giga chats surrounding this table, frame maxing. This is going to be great. No, you're out. This is not that kind of show. Anybody that thinks that it is, we're out. No maxing or gooning or any of that stuff.
If that's the audience we've reached a completely different side of the internet than we intend to.
I'm going to rethink a lot of choices that I've made.
You and me both.
If I end up on a kick stream after this. White dudes. These days that I am. You're white adjacent. A white adjacent man. You scored too high in your tests. Yeah. There's people who call me an honorary white, and then those who hate me call me white adjacent. Once I go out, I'm just surprised to learn that not every conservative or even right thinking person, or whatever, that's not a or a Democrat is not okay. As an idiot, you would assume if you don't engage with online politics that every single conservative is a white male. So that's what we're necessarily the prototypical or stereotypical conservative came to the How did you come about those beliefs?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a American Christian household, very conservative. Both my parents were Republican, very Republican growing up, and it's just kind of all I've ever known. As I grew older and had an interest in politics, my own personal beliefs probably went a little bit more right-wing than my parents even did. But yeah, I don't know, just as I've gotten older and as I've experienced more and more life, I've gotten more conservative and
Were you born into conservatism or Republican? Like, where did it come from? Christian household. I am a 4th-generation Christian, which is pretty impressive as a Korean because, Christianity is fairly new to the Korean Peninsula, all things considered. And so, yeah, my great-grandfather was a Methodist pastor, and my grandfather also was the pastor, and so just come from a line of very faithful, devout Christians. And so growing up, I always went to church, and although the United Methodist Church has gone off the rails in America with their transgenderism and female bishops and all that stuff, my family was always pretty right-wing and conservative in their beliefs because they were Christian, traditional in their beliefs. And so it's a bit of a mixture of a slight bit of confusion. Guided by what God has to say in the Bible about family formation, about marriage, about even society, the role of the government, all these things. So I just kind of instinctively understood this all throughout my life. Went to college in LA, was surrounded by a lot of libtards, and so I got a little left-wing there. But then my last year of college, I kind of woke up. That's the most important thing for me, and realized that a lot of Bible is and understanding that as a Bible-believing Christian who wants to submit everything
so I realized, oh, then that makes me right-wing. That makes me conservative, because what does it mean to be conservative? Well, I want to conserve the beautiful, great, rich heritage, customs, traditions in America, which are deeply Christian in nature. And so I just came to that realization, and then with the craziness of BLM and COVID, I started to speak out.
No, I get it. And real quick, like on the Methodist Church, I get it, because I grew up in the Methodist Church. Now, it's like which one you go to. You'll find extremely conservative ones, and ones that are just off the rails. So, you know, something is going there, but I don't think it's, you say you're a Methodist, and people are like, oh, he must be like a woke lunatic, and that's not really the case. But you kind of touched on it a little bit just there, and I kind of understand your background, maybe a little bit better, just because I actually lived in America for 5 years, so I kind of get the family and the traditional values. So I kind of want to dig into that a little bit more when you were growing up. The cultural impacts of your, I don't want to say ethnicity, but the background of your family. What were those like? What were the values that you were given, and what was important in your household when you were both growing up?
Yeah, I mean, my dad is an immigrant to this country, but he actually immigrated here from England. My family on that side is of heritage, I would say. But really, what I pulled most from that side of my family was just family tradition and conservative values. I mean, we see a lot of Indians in America right now, and a lot of them are kind of left-wing and Democrat. A lot of these people are second and third generation, but by taking politics out of it, Indians are relatively conservative in lifestyle. And so that was the biggest thing that I really pulled from that side of my family. And then as far as religion and beliefs go, that came from my mom's side of the family. And on her side, I mean, I have ancestry dating back to the 1700s in America. So, I mean, very deeply rooted in American history, values, tradition. And when my dad immigrated here, was very westernized already, but had a deep love and appreciation for this country and dove right into that. So,
yeah, my upbringing was very traditional in terms of a very Korean upbringing. Study hard. If I did anything wrong, I'd go into the corner and have to raise my hand.
Did you have cold water at lunch, or did you have to have hot water with your meal?
Cold water.
Oh, okay. That's a thing. Is it? Yeah, they won't let the little kids drink cold water because they say it messes with their digestion.
Oh, yes, actually, yes. I did have an Oriental doctor tell me that.
Can't say that.
It's like, that's what they call it, right? It's the Eastern Oriental doctors who practice traditional Eastern medicine told me that I shouldn't ingest cold water and ice cream and things like that. I do remember that. But, yeah, just grew up in a traditional household in terms of a Korean upbringing. My mom, God bless her soul, can't speak English very well, and so I just grew up speaking Korean all the time in the home. And I went to Korean school growing up, so I learned Korean. I know how to read, I know how to write, I learned Korean history. And so there was like always a deep attachment for me to heritage and this understanding of ancestry and what does it mean to inherit something and then leave something behind for your posterity. I just kind of have this idea always just ingrained in me, and then understanding that what our sole priority, or my sole priority, should be to glorify God. Westminster Catechism of Faith, but yeah, growing up, we never missed a single church service on Sunday, even when we were traveling, when going to Hong Kong, we went to Japan, always found a church on Sunday to go to. And I remember I got into a fight once with my mom because I wanted to go to a sporting competition on a Sunday. And she's like, no, go to church. And so that's the kind of upbringing that I had, where it was about, yes, study hard, don't cause trouble, be a good citizen, be a good student, work hard, but also remember that your primary allegiance is to God, to worship Him, to understand what His Word says, and all those things. So that was the kind of upbringing that I had, very traditional.
I was leading a little bit there because I did have this kind of inherent, I don't want to call it bias, but understanding that Indian culture and then knowing that culture are inherently more conservative than a lot of what I see being lived by either Indian or Korean or us in the United States now. So I think we all talk about assimilation and how it's important if you're going to be part of another country, you need to take on that cultural characteristics. So while we might have a lot in common with Korean culture or even, some things in Indian culture, were there any, with either of you, were there any parts of your culture that you kind of had to actively say, I'm going to suppress this part of that culture if I want to fit into American
think my dad assimilated so well prior to me even coming into the picture that it wasn't even really much of a thought. I mean, my grandparents on my dad's side were very much a part of my life, for at least while they were alive. But I didn't see their customs and tradition as my life. I was going and participating in their customs and traditions when I would go, have dinner with them or make food with them or go to cultural events with them or whatever it might be. And it was fun and I very much appreciated it, but I never viewed it as mine, per se.
For me, there are definitely parts of Korean culture that wasn't really necessarily encouraged to live out publicly. So, for example, my name is Carter, but I actually went by Joseph my whole life until college. So, when I started school, preschool in America, I went to a private school, a small Christian private school, and my mom just like, you're going to be Joseph. So she enrolled me as Joseph Lee. And so there's that element of, hey, when you're going to participate in American society, you will adopt a Western name. And of course, she looked in the Bible for that name for me, but were you going to be Jesus' dad? She's like, that's crazy, that's crazy. She got it from Joseph from, the Old Testament. Okay. Still pretty big deal. Yeah, yes.
Big name to live up to.
Big name, second in...
well, half the Mexicans are Jesus, so I mean, like, we're really
But that's the thing, and so gave me an English westernized name so that I can assimilate better and operate in school better, encourage for me to study hard, to learn English, learn the history, to do well in school, of course, for the end goal of going to a good college, but it's this understanding, hey, like, you're in America now, so you have to be a good citizen in America, and people might say a model citizen, a model minority, but that's the kind of thing that kind of was a little suppressed. I was never said to be ashamed of being Korean, but there was this understanding of, hey, if you're in America, you have to understand what it means to be an American, live as an American, and so there was a bit of that definitely for me growing up, and it was actually a realization for me in college that I'm like, well, Joseph wasn't the name that my parents gave me when I was born. I kind of want to own the name that I was born with, and so it was actually an opposite trend of what like Esther, it's Jason, it's Grace. Yeah, Grace. And so I kind of took the opposite, but I think it's also speaking that there are certain immigrants that wasn't assimilated more American culture when it comes to other immigrants. So that's just the context.
Yeah, but I guess to me, when I think about it, there is, it's always been the melting pot, right? Since you're taking the best ingredients of everything and melting it together. If you're taking everything and melting it together, it's going to taste like shit, and no one's going to want to eat it. Oh, absolutely. So, you'll say, well, this thing came from Spanish culture, this thing came from... that work with our constitutional values and our founding that are great. Those values work with our Constitution, that's great. But I think what we're seeing is cultures wanting to import en masse just jive with our Constitution. They actively despise it, and they'll actively cut to this. And I think
is good. Even legal immigration can be bad. And I get that we have this toxic empathy here in the United States where we think that we just need to allow the entire world to flood our borders and invade our country. However, this is how you cause societal collapse. Assimilation to our culture should be a bare minimum requirement of anybody that is allowed to come into the country. Bare minimum. But when you allow people to move here en masse, as we have, especially from places like the third world, you don't even incentivize, you don't even allow the opportunity for assimilation. Because these people come here in their own communities, they stay together, and just take over American cities. This is what I call civilizational suicide. Because that's quite literally what we've been doing to ourselves. We're allowing our culture and our norms to be completely eroded. These people are coming here, they're not assimilating, and then they're outbreeding us in our own country. And then on top of that, they're committing violent crimes against American citizens and killing us. So yes, there are plenty of issues with the immigration system itself. However, we also need to be incredibly selective on the type of people we allow to come here and how many of them.
Okay. I would be lying if I said I wasn't a big fan of that clip, but I'm thinking maybe not everybody was a huge fan of that clip. What was the response like that you got from that?
No, from the conservative media, the response was actually great, but from a large majority of the internet, particularly the Indian side of the internet, especially on X, I pissed a lot of people off with that. Yeah.
Well, true, and I saw that, but I also think there are some people who might consider themselves nativists or legacy American, however they want to phrase themselves, that also weren't happy about that. Because I don't know if you noticed, as an Indian, you can't say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you know, what's your last name? You can't be saying that.
Yeah,
what is the conversation like with those people? What would you say to those people?
It's actually really interesting. From that side of the internet, half of them love me and then half of them hate me. The ones that love me hate to love me, but it's always really, really interesting, and I feel like people don't quite understand what, I don't want to use this like super liberal term, but like my quote unquote lived experiences. It's really stupid, obviously, but like, I was born here. This is the only country that I've ever known. On my mom's side of the family, which was honestly the dominant part of my upbringing, is deeply American. Like I said earlier, I have ancestry dating back here to the 1700s. My ancestor founded the colony of Georgia. So, like, I'm deeply rooted in American history, American culture. Actually, no, he fought against slavery.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact. But yeah, no, I think it's very interesting when I catch the people on that side of the internet. I completely understand, and I do think that we should preserve, honestly, white people in America. I think it should be. I'm on your side.
You don't want to kill me, so.
Yeah, I'm sure. But no, I think that America should remain a white majority nation. The people here that say that, wanting to preserve that, and as a white man, you wanting your children to look like you is inherently bad or racist, I think that's incredibly wrong. I feel like every race, honestly, has that inherent, their nature, wanting your children to look like you and reflect you as a person. But for people that act like white men kind of rule the world, or white people in general rule the world, is such a fallacy, because it's actually a massive minority when it comes to the world population. But I don't think that's a bad thing, and honestly, we've seen that trend in a lot of white nations, especially in Europe. They've been dominated by immigration from the Middle East, and I don't think that's a good thing. I think that nations should reflect their inherent people.
Well, if they don't, it turns into something that's not really what that nation was
Exactly.
in the first place. And like I mentioned before, living in Korea, I love the culture there, and I felt very lucky to be part of it. And I had plans to live there long term, but never did I think, man, I wish there were a lot more white people here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, no, because then if there's a lot more white people, Westerners here, it's not the thing that makes it attractive to me. Exactly. And that comes with a certain responsibility. You need to learn Korean, you need to adopt the customs, you need to, learn how to make a mandukguk or whatever. Yeah. You're pretty good at it, by the way. Oh, let's go. But the point being, it's good to have a diversity of cultures around the world. Not everything has to be homogenous. And it seems like there's this weird goal to make everything, I don't want to just a amalgamation of nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't really know where that comes from, or if it's even well thought out, and just a suicidal empathy that we need to take care of everybody.
I think it is a suicidal empathy, to be honest with you. I mean, we live in the most wealthy, most prosperous, most charitable country in the world, and it's a great thing. However, that can be taken too far. I think the vice president actually talked about this sometime last year. He talked about the Order of Mori, which is a deeply Christian value, but it's the order of charity and the order of love. And yes, we should love, you know, the person in Iraq, but that person is not loved, or my love and my duty to that person is not more or even comparable to the duty of my mother, my brother, or like somebody like that, or if I were married, my husband, or my children. Those people obviously come first, and having that order of love and charity actually ends up being a good thing in the long run, because when you have your priorities in order in that way, you end up being able to service the people that are close to home, obviously, that are more important inherently to you, and then you get to distribute the resources that are left over, essentially, to the rest of the world, or to the extra people, obviously, after that. But no, I think we just have this massive suicidal empathy where we feel like we need to bring the entire world to the West, simply because it's the most prosperous part of the world, and I think we see that in a lot of areas, but I don't know why that has to come at a detriment to what makes the West and America so great.
I would say there's probably a contingent of people at the top that are profiting off of this. Profiting off mass migration. They don't really have an attachment to any culture. They don't really care about their family because, you know, money that's what they worship. But at the end of the day, it'll come for them too. The idea that they're above reproach, no. I mean, the French Revolution, everyone that started it ended up getting their heads cut off too. I'm not saying I want to go cut off the AOC's head. Please don't write that in Media Matters, but you understand the point. So now that we kind of know, I don't want to say her claim to fame, but how a lot of people came to know who she is, you've been around for a little bit, but recently you had some troubles at work, correct?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Just, you know, typical. I've been fired before too, but they just say things that are not orthodox in our liberal hegemonic society where everything's fake and gay, and so if you just say the truth, you just say the truth, and oh no, you're a terrible person.
It's the Trump answer.
I just say inconvenient truth, not out of hate, but out of love for goodness, truth, and duty, and to protect and preserve order in society. I care about these things, and sometimes you have to say inconvenient truths out loud, and say the quiet part out loud, so that people wake up out of their delusions and out of their trance. And too many people are under a delulu where they think that everything
I know.
Everything is just nice and bubbly, and we can just go live kumbaya all together. It's like, no, there's actual real life consequences to terrible leftist ideology and policy. And so, yeah, I just say the truth and the quiet part out loud, and my employer didn't like that. He thought that I hated women, I hated other minorities.
You don't, though, right? I'm giving you the chance to clear the air here.
I don't, and I say this so many times, but everyone always ignores the part where I say I love black people. They say, oh, you hate black people.
I have black friends.
I do actually unironically have black friends.
Unironically?
Yes, one of my closest friends is black, and yeah, it's really crazy. And
the most racist friend groups are the most diverse friend groups.
Yes, absolutely.
If you find a group chat and it's all just white dudes, that group chat sucks.
Yes.
If it's diverse and you have a Jew and you have a Paraguayan and you have a liberal from California, that's gonna be a fun group chat.
I literally grew up joking around with my Mexican friends. They'd be like, hey, ¿qué pasó, chino? And I'll be like, what's up, you? I don't know, I don't want to say anything. But it's like, this is how I grew up. And so we live in such a...
Remember when South Korea won in the World Cup? Everybody in Mexico was doing the I thing. But they were doing it because like, our friends say this in the World Cup. It's not just...
But yeah, so you just... Things are just so... You're always walking on eggshells, and you just say the inconvenient truth, and then they'll see it as hate, because those who hate the truth will see the truth as hateful.
It's a good point, except there's a video on the internet that I want to play that says you actually are a racist bigot, so...
You know, it's
Do you not realize that you are a Korean? Meaning that if the government decides to strip away the civil rights of citizens, you would be
groups in this country, racist white people don't like Asians either. That's because despite your best efforts to paint black people as the perpetrators of anti-Asian violence in this country, it was actually racist white people that committed the most crimes against Asians during COVID. Per capita way out of this one.
Before you start, I am going to per capita my way out of that one. Because the actual studies say 27% of all violent attacks against Asians are committed by
black people.
And then they're actually 305% more likely to commit one of those attacks based on neighborhood demographics. This isn't just every black person who's coming to kill you after the show. The point is you can verifiably deconstruct that lie right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And if the studies they always point to is these bogus studies by these left-wing Asian activist professors who categorize it not by violent attacks, but by anti-Asian hate incidents.
Yes.
So, not actual violent crimes where they're going in and following Asian women into their apartments, stabbing them, shoving them onto subway tracks, right? Brutally beating them up, pummeling them, stomping on them. There's endless videos and endless incidents of young, specifically black teens, but also black women, going and attacking Asians brutally in this way. I always challenge these people on the internet. Show me an example of white people doing this. And they never can. Because the categorization that they always do, aside from the Atlanta shooting that happened in March of 2021, is that they use hate incidents. And there are certain things under hate incidents. For example, a poster of Donald Trump advocating to vote for Donald Trump is considered an anti-Asian hate incident.
I'm sure calling it the China virus was an anti-Asian hate.
Saying the China virus or the Wuhan virus is considered an anti-Asian incident.
Because I was doing a Korean class when this broke out, and everyone was calling it the Wuhan Pedium, right? Those are Koreans.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that was an anti-Asian hate. I'm like, no. The Koreans coined this term. Don't scapegoat us with this.
To the white folks, man. Koreans and Asians.
The internet, we can get, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing too, but all being said, my point wasn't just to indiscriminately say black people are just attacking Asians on the street, which they are. But no, they are. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not saying all black people, but the people who are predominantly attacking Asians on the streets in our inner cities
are black people.
I had a tweet that went crazy viral where I said, Stop Asian Hate died because people started asking who's attacking Asians, and the liberals didn't like answering that. And then so it went crazy viral on Reddit. And then everyone, even left-wing Asians who live in Oakland, San Francisco, New York, they're all agreeing with me. They're liberal, but they're saying, hey, this guy actually has a point. I have a family member who was beat to death. I have a family member, a friend who was stabbed. I have a family member who was slashed. A family member or a friend who was shoved on the subway tracks, and the judge let the violent offender free on bail. They didn't categorize it as a hate crime. So then, if that's the case, and of course the stats are going to be completely misconstrued because they're not categorized as hate incidents or hate crimes, but this is a reality, like you said, a lived experience for many Asians, and the reality is so many boba Asians and boba libs like Simu Liu and Daniel Day Kim, all of these Asians who purport to be the face and voice of Asian representation in America are completely silent when young women and young girls, grandmas, vulnerable Asians are being completely brutalized on the street because the perpetrators were not of the specific racial component that promulgates their narratives. They weren't white. They're black, they're Latino, predominantly black, and that's why they're silent. And that's why they don't talk about Stop Asian Hate anymore. They've completely disappeared with Junhee Han or Michelle Lee and Christina Yuna Lee, all these victims who were brutally attacked and killed by black people. They don't say anything about it. And for me, I'm not trying to increase tensions between black and Asian.
Nobody actually wants that.
Yes, nobody
Correct me if I'm wrong. The America I grew up in the 90s, I'm a little bit older than both of you, I was taught, you do not look at people for race, they won't look at you for race, you're Americans, you grew up here, and it was really good for a few years.
Yeah.
And then I would argue Barack Obama changed a lot of that. But in an ideal country, you have your white people, you have your Asian background people, and it doesn't matter because everyone's first identity is as an American.
Yeah.
That should not be a controversial thing, but it seems to be. And on the Asian hate thing, I think it's interesting because Code Pink was behind a lot of the funding for these protests. Code Pink, as you know, we had the undersecretary on our show last week. I don't know, a couple weeks ago, about with time. That's tied directly to Chinese funding. So it's interesting that our biggest adversary would be advocating for Stop Asian Hate, but then when the racial narrative changes, they stop advocating for it. There's a lot more at play here, I think, than people realize, which kind of leads me to the next segment that I want to get into. How'd you like that transition? Pretty good. And I call it, Is It a Threat? It's going to be the first time. You down to...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And actually for this, we were going to have Drew Powder on the show, you know, but he got deported, so unfortunately he can't join us today. But unless we can miraculously in Australia, is that possible to do, Matt? Technology. Do we have the resources? Sure. Well, let me know if that's possible. If we can get them on, then we will. We'll go ahead and start. Let me know if we get through to it. So, is it a threat? The first thing I want to bring up is and I want to think about this not only to the United States, but kind of Western society in general, because our Australian brother to join us. How much of a threat is this one? Is it no threat? Somewhat of a threat? Or is it a super big threat?
And I think not only to America, where you see tons of videos of Muslims worshiping openly in Times Square and things like that, but they are the #1 persecutors of Christians worldwide. So this idea, and I see this a lot from the dissident right, where Islam's not that big of a problem. Oh, it is. They literally are the #1 persecutors of Christians worldwide. And Christianity is one of the defining factors of the West. And then, so if we want to save Western civilization, we have to be very clear about who's attacking Christians first and foremost.
Would you agree? Is it?
I would agree, and I would go as far to say that I think it's actually an existential threat, to steal a line from the liberals.
That's a good word.
Yeah,
It's a good word.
I like to think so. I like to think so. Yeah, I do think it's a massive threat to the West, but especially America more broadly. I mean, I know that a lot of people like to argue against it, but we are a deeply Christian nation. We are very much founded on Christian values and Christian beliefs. And for anybody to try and negate that is just lying to themselves. But Islam in and of itself is inherently incompatible with how our founding fathers set up the foundation for this country. And of course we have freedom of religious expression, and you are free to worship in whatever capacity that you like, obviously, to a certain extent. However, this mass migration of people from the Middle East and bringing Islam to America, we've seen it's pretty much like an invasion. I mean, we see thousands and thousands of churches shutting down in the U.S. every day, and we have mosques just popping up in their place. And I think it's a massive threat to our country.
Well, I think if you look at what's happening in Britain, it's kind of hard to argue that because they're 10 steps ahead of us.
Yep.
With how, you know, what do they have, not a third, like a sixth, a seventh of the population of us, and the proportion of Islam or Muslims there is just growing exponentially.
Exactly. Well, and you see the crime rates there. I mean, you have these Pakistani rape gangs basically taking over large portions of not only the London area, but the entirety of England. And a lot of this is just being completely ignored by, you know, the political leadership, by the media, and it's a real threat that people there are facing every day. I have a lot of friends and family that live in England, and they see the impact of it firsthand.
Why do you think so many women push this as we need to bring Islam into the country? Because it's not exactly the most feminist religion as far as I know.
Well, and it's so funny because it is the feminists that do tend to push for Islam. I mean, we saw it a lot with Mamdani winning in New York City, the mayoral election. The amount of women that came out that were just touting that they were excited Sharia law was coming to New York is just ridiculous to me. And these are the women that will say that they are feminists. I'm like, I don't think that these people are actually educated on what the teachings of Islam really are. I think they're essentially fake Muslims. And I honestly think that Zohra Mamdani is probably a fake Muslim too, because I mean, if we know anything about Islam and the traditions of Islam, it's actually pretty conservative. It's not compatible with progressive or liberal values in any way, shape, or form. So there's something that's one side of that is lying, whether it's the liberalism or whether it's the Islam.
Either wants to throw gays off buildings or no.
But I think these people are just deeply, deeply misguided.
Well, women can drive in Saudi Arabia with a male's permission now, so who's the real bigot?
Winning.
Drew, are you there? I hear you're there. Is this true?
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Hey, all right. Billy let you free for the afternoon.
I'm crossing in after being deported. It's a great honor. I'm very, very sad that I wasn't allowed to. They gave me a hug.
How long were you in that room?
I was there for 30 hours, and look, I understand that this is kind of like the end service here, so it's very appropriate that I got deported. Actually, I think it's a beautiful sign of diversity that I was deported. It's very sad. I was literally supposed to just be there on a holiday, and I wish I could have joined you guys for this beautiful podcast. It's very sad. Billie Eilish's lawyers sort of reported me to DHS, it seemed, and it's a great tragedy.
Well, we'll see what we can do to get you off that list. But while we have you, obviously not America, but I think, Australia is a close ally, share a lot of relationships, Western Foundation. Islam, what do you think?
Look, I mean, it's a big topic. I would say that I do try to distinguish between Islam, the religion as a whole, and political Islamism. Unfortunately, it does appear that political Islamism is a huge thing. It's a lot. I mean, there's this kind of narrative that extremism is such a small minority, but unfortunately, it does appear to be the case that if you are a strong Muslim, your views basically have to align, it seems, politically with something like around the same things like the Muslim Brotherhood, political Islamism, etc. And when these ideas are taken seriously, political Islamism, it is unfortunately very incompatible with Western democratic systems. I mean, this is a belief that really wants to try and put Islam above the state, above a secular democratic state, wanting to make it central to society. That's the problem with political Islamism. And so I think there's a huge problem there for integration, assimilation, for Western civilization more broadly. Political Islamism, it's a very, very different doctrine. It's a very different ideology to what we're used to dealing with. And I think the problem is that a lot of leftists just don't take it seriously as a separate system of ideas, like as a separate doctrine. They just don't actually sit down and read what these people believe. I mean, if you go down to you can go onto the Wikipedia page for Hizb ut-Tahrir, which is this kind of radical Islamist group that is allowed to operate in Australia. It's banned in Britain, banned in Germany, banned in almost every Muslim country in the world, but allowed to operate in Australia. And if you look at what they believe in, they literally advocate the reintroduction of slavery. They advocate for the creation of a global caliphate. They advocate for enslaving non-Muslims. And so you have to think, if you actually sit down and read what the political Islamists believe, you have to just basically say, this is fundamentally incompatible with our civilization, our culture, our way of life.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone here would advocate for going to Muslims and shouting them out for being... No, we all agree that's inappropriate. No. Comment might have some other ideas over here. Yeah. But yeah, when you differentiate political Islam, I think that's a smart thing to do. But as you mentioned, unfortunately, if you look at polling, even 10%, I think it's slightly less than 10% of Muslims agree that using violence in the name of spreading Islam is sometimes or always justified. Well, we're still talking hundreds of millions of people at that point. So you just can't freely import that culture without realizing that there are real risks. And I think it's funny that, and again, I think it's for political points a little bit, but the UAE is like, don't go study in Britain because you might get a little too extreme with the Islam there. So it's just a very interesting place to come to. Drew, can you hang out with us for the rest of this game? I got 3 more cards. I want you in on this.
I would be honored. I'd be honored if you could let me in, even though I've been deported from the United States, to be here virtually.
You're a virtual American today.
Okay. So proud to be part of it.
Well, this one we might have you start on because this is how I, Matt and Winston, right? At the China show?
Great guys.
Yeah, so that's how I actually found out about you way back in the day. So I think for our next Is It a Threat, we have China. So how much of a threat is China to the United States and kind of the Western world? So Drew, take us away.
Again, A beautiful question. So look, again, I always try to draw this distinction between, you know, China as a sort of culture and a civilization, and China as the Chinese Communist Party. And look, the Chinese Communist Party is an existential threat to the West, existential threat to democracies around the world.
I know.
And look, I lived it myself. So I started off. Back in the day, when I was 20 years old, I held a pro-Hong Kong protest at my university in Australia, the University of Queensland, which is supposed to be, you know, one of our equivalent of like an Ivy League type university, I guess, in Australia. You know, one of our top public universities. And there were about, and the entrance requirements are like not actually strict at all. The only reason I say that is I try to point out this is supposed to be one of Australia's, you know, great universities, but the way they reacted to this was insane. So what happened is there were about 300, 400 Chinese Communist Party supporters who came out. Most of them were students, and they actually surrounded us at our pro-Hong Kong protest, tried to beat me up, tried to beat up all these Hong Kongers. They chokeslammed Hong Kongers into the ground. They ripped a Hong Konger girl's dress. They punched me in the back of the head while my back was turned. And after this happened, the Chinese Consul General in my city, Zhu Jie, who was an honorary professor at the University of Queensland, he put out a statement endorsing the violence as patriotic. And basically, I went super viral on Chinese social media that night. There was a post with like 100 million views showing my face, and I had thousands of death threats, thousands of abusive comments. People were calling me white trash, white pig. They were calling me wog, which is like a slur for Greek Australians in Australia. And then afterwards, the Chinese government, through Chinese state media, put out articles pressuring my university to try and expel me as a student because I was leading these protests. And the university actually did it. They actually went through with it. So they spent $500,000 in Australian taxpayer money bringing in some of the best law firms in Australia, and they compiled tens of thousands of pages of documents on me and like literally created this entire process to expel me as a student. And that was my experience. Afterwards, I kept on advocating. I kept on, you know, I was an activist. Basically, my main thing for many years was opposing the Chinese Communist Party. And it got to the point where the Chinese government literally denounced me. The Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs denounced me at a press conference in Beijing as an anti-China element. And eventually, the Australian Federal Police was forced to make raids in Australia against people working to find my address, violently harm me in Australia as part of a foreign interference plot, probably for the Chinese government. So that's how bad it got in Australia. No one was ever arrested because the Australian government is so cucked on this stuff. And I also even got swatted. I was in London in 2022 protesting outside the London Chinese embassy. I got swatted with a fake bomb threat by the Chinese embassy to try and get me arrested. And still to this day, they use that to like basically mess with my travel. And so when I traveled to America on Saturday, I got in there, and I'm pretty sure what happened is Billie Eilish's lawyers, they compiled like an information pack on me and sent it off to DHS. And one of the things that they were asking was like, so Drew, we've got information here that you tried to bomb the Chinese embassy. You tried to become a government official. And I'm like, no, that did not happen. That never happened. I mean, I was obviously completely cleared by British authorities. If I had actually been a terrorist, I don't think I'd be talking to you right now. So, and it sucks, man. Like, I was literally in the US in January, no problems. Like, I got off the plane, didn't have a single problem with my sort of holiday visa, but suddenly after I start taking the piss out of Billie Eilish online, start mocking her, then suddenly I'm called into this sort of immigration setting, and they're asking me, did you ever try and kill Chinese government officials? So I think what happened here is that, yeah, Billie Eilish's lawyers potentially were like weaponizing the fact that I had previously gone against the Chinese government and you know, been harassed by them. So yeah, I think my own personal experience is like they literally tried to hunt me down in Australia. 100% is an existential threat. If you go hard against them, even in a Western country, even if you're not Chinese, if you don't have family members in China, they will still go after you. And I also had a lot of friends in the dissident community, Chinese dissident community living here in Australia. They would always go after their families inside China. It's like a full mafia state. They always go after your family. I mean, even my family, my brother lives in New York as a sort of, you know, permanent resident, married an American girl. They did bomb threats to my brother in America. 3 FBI agents visited him at his college soccer dorm because they did bomb threats to my brother in America. They go after people's families. They go so hard. And so 100% it's existential threat. If you go really hard criticizing the Chinese government, they will like literally hunt you down to the ends of the earth, and they'll go after all your family members.
So what you're saying is Billie Eilish is a CCP agent?
I think that's what
I don't want to be sued by Billie Eilish. I don't think she's a CCP agent, but I think her lawyers potentially weaponize my history as an activist against me.
I don't want to get you in any more trouble than you already are. Would you guys, as far as the United States is concerned, would you agree with Drew's assessment, or?
I think there are definitely bigger threats than China to America, if we're talking specifically to America. But I think when it comes to Western civilization, yeah, absolutely. China is probably our #1 foreign adversary. And you just see it. I see it in Korea as a Korean American. I talk to a lot of people in Korea about politics, about what's going on. And yeah, lots of Chinese nationals coming into Korea, stealing data, posing as national security risks by taking very confidential IP and code and things like that, these corporations, and then selling it back to Chinese companies or giving it to the CCP. You see tons of instances of Chinese nationals in America. There's that one H-1B Chinese guy who took a bunch of XAI code and sold it for millions, and then he left XAI, right? And I think that was probably Elon Musk's red pill too about the H-1Bs. Yeah. Because before he was like, I'm gonna go to war against anyone who goes against the H-1Bs, and then an H-1B stole all this code from XAI. And so there's that. There's tons of biohazard risks as well, where they import certain things.
Just to the University of Michigan, 4 different cases.
Yeah, and there's tons of them going into Chinese institutes at a bunch of universities, and it is a threat because they are subversive. And I'm not saying all Chinese people in America, but a lot of people, especially the ones who come to America, the Chinese nationals, they do have ties to the CCP.
So, it's almost impossible not to at this point. It's unfortunate.
And so, again, like Drew said, they operate like a mafia. So then if you don't do the bidding of the CCP, they can target your family back in China as well. So for the sake of national security and securing Western civilization, broadly speaking, yes, the West should halt the entrance of many Chinese nationals into the West. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. You hit it right on the head with all of that. I think that they do absolutely behave like a mafia-style cult, honestly. And like you said, they target the family members of people that try and immigrate here, and even though those people might have good intentions, you're still under the stronghold of the CCP. And on top of that, you touched on it with the data stealing and the biohazards that have been brought here from China. They control a lot of our security systems and a lot of things like that, and I think that that's all with malicious intent. And I know that a lot of people use either Russia or Iran as these bogeymans, as being major foreign adversaries to the U.S., and of course I think that they are to some extent, but nothing like China is.
And this is why free trade has been so detrimental.
Yeah.
Shipped all of our jobs over to China.
I would argue China's ascension to the WTO was one of the worst things for American prosperity that's ever happened.
The neocon foreign policy has destroyed America and has only emboldened our foreign adversaries.
Absolutely.
And it was an astronomical mistake.
Yeah, and I agree with everyone's assessment here to the extent that it is the #1 national security threat. But even more than that, they exacerbate the domestic issues that we have, because there's no plan for China to invade the United States. They don't want to do that. It's logistically impossible. But they're very capable of destabilizing us to the point where we no longer are a prosperous country, where we can't get along with each other. You look at the information warfare you have on places like TikTok, and then it was Xiao Hongshuno's Little Red Book, or whatever they wanted to call it. And now it's, their state officials on Twitter, or their foreign shills on Twitter. They permeate every aspect of American digital life to kind of sow their own narrative. So,
and it's actually a good point, because Eileen Gu was the centerpiece of much controversy recently.
Yeah.
And even the Eileen Gu situation, it is a demoralization tactic for Americans, because she was born here, she was raised here, and for all intents and purposes, she's more of an American than she is Chinese. But she sold out. They gave her a lot of money, and then she started to represent China. And she, by definition, is a traitor to America, because she chose to represent a foreign state. Regardless of what you think about China and the CCP, she still chose to represent a foreign state at the Olympics. She she abandoned her American citizenship.
Maybe.
Yeah, but you don't even know. We don't know, because she still might be a dual citizen,
which is illegal in China. You can't be. There's so much fishing.
They might have given her an exception to that, but it is a demoralization.
100%.
It's you can have an American who is an American citizen, but can represent China and nothing happens. Yeah. Nothing happens. And so Americans get demoralized. They're like, what's the point? We have a traitor who literally goes out and competes for a foreign state, a foreign adversary, and nothing happens, and she's actually celebrated by the media, by Hollywood, by celebrities, and all of pop culture.
Well, and that's exactly the thing. I mean, she went out and she spoke very negatively against President Trump. It's ironic because if she were to do that to the president of the country that she's actually representing, she'd probably be killed by the government. So, I mean, it's really ironic. But the fact that essentially being a traitor to America is actually celebrated by the American left is really ridiculous to me. I'm like, I don't know what we even stand for as Americans if not that.
And I think she's kind of a microcosm of that neocon foreign policy and offshoring that the right celebrated. It's like, yeah, let's get cheap labor over there and make cheap stuff so we can buy it. And who cares if Ohio and Pennsylvania and Indiana lose all their jobs? She's kind of the humanized version of that phenomenon. So, yeah, I think it's not a minute threat by any sense of the imagination. I could talk about this all day, but we have 2 more cards that I want to get to.
Let's do it.
I don't actually know. I don't know if I've ever heard Drew touch on this, so we'll let you two answer first, and then maybe Drew can bounce off of that. Feminism.
Oh, I love this one. I guess I'll go first. I think it is one of the biggest.
Oh, the straight male going first.
No, feminism, it has completely destroyed the fabric of society. Because people say feminism was about equality, and then the right says, no, feminism was about supremacy. No, the fundamental premise of feminism, even first-wave feminism, was that men and women are the same. And we're not. We're not. We're different not only biologically, but physiologically. We are different mentally, emotionally. God has wired us so differently, and we are made for different designs. Doesn't mean that any one of men or women are more valuable than the other, but we need each other. And the way that feminism has completely destroyed society is that it has convinced women that they are essentially and functionally the same as men. And then so we went from society where men and women complement one another to now men and women competing against one another. And this is why the gender divide is so bad. And it really does go back to first-wave feminism. First-wave feminists were not some great heroes of equality and great activists who should be venerated. They hated men. And actually, this is actually funny. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of feminists hated the Titanic. And they hated the Titanic not because of the tragedy, but because the majority of people who survived the Titanic were women and children. Because they're still, back in the day when chivalry was still a thing, this understanding that women have a special place in society, and the role of men is to provide and protect and care for women. And so, completely destroy the fabric of society, and essentially what feminism has done is reduced the fundamental unit of society to the individual when it should be the family.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to touch on all of that. The whole goal of feminism was to just completely destroy the nuclear family. It was just to completely abolish that. And I think that's very prevalent in a lot of the West now, where we see very much declining birth rates and the replacement rate in comparison to more conservative in nature, traditional, a lot of the Muslim countries and things like that. Obviously, they don't really have a problem with the replacement rates because they're not particularly embracing of feminism. And I'm not saying that we should go, obviously, full on Islam or anything of that sort, but the premise that the nuclear family is the fabric of society, it is the inherent and fundamental political unit. Society essentially flourishes off of that, and we've eroded that. And like you said, it's essentially, it was a premise of demonizing men, but I would go further, is that the founders of feminism were actually racist and eugenicists at that point.
A lot of them were Marxists.
Yes, they were. A lot of them were Marxists.
I mean, a big part of Marxist theory or Marxist thinking was to get women out of the house.
Yes.
School-sponsored or state-sponsored schools, so you could have more cogs in the machine to do things.
Absolutely.
It wasn't about liberating women.
Oh, absolutely. No, not at all. It was to reduce women into economic units.
Yes.
That's exactly what it was.
Well, and at the time, most women were against liberation. They didn't want liberation in any way, shape, or form. They had to essentially be sold on it and convinced of it. But, you know, I think it's very interesting because the way that I look at it, men and women, especially of our generation, or all of our generations actually, have been victimized. You're welcome. Both men and women have essentially been victims of feminism. I mean, feminism has told women that they can do everything, yes, and it sounds really nice and fluffy and very welcoming and opening. However, it's essentially taken away all of the inherent values that women have. I mean, the greatest things that we are able to do is essentially be a wife, mother, and homemaker, and you're essentially stealing that away from women by convincing them that they don't need it and that it's demeaning to want that. And then on the other side of it, we've demonized men, essentially saying, we don't need you. Us as women, we don't need you, you're worthless, we're equal to you, we can do everything that you can do. And telling them that they're nothing, they've both been sold a lie. Because, like you said, we're created to complement and work together, and our differences are what make us beautiful and equal in a different way.
Yeah, I think I agree with probably 90% of what both of you said. I do want to push back and see what you think on a couple things, but I want to go to Drew first. What is your perspective on this? Because I have a feeling it might be a little bit different.
Look, great question. I love and cherish women. I appreciate women. They're great. As Mao Zedong said, they hold up one half the sky. Our great enemy, the Chinese Communist Party, they said it themselves. Look, I love women. I support, you know, their rights, etc. I do think at this point there is unfortunately a lot of hostility from sort of like young progressive women online towards men as a whole, and I think that's a terrible thing as a society. Look, I do believe that the most beautiful thing that you can have in your life is, you know, family. You know, everyone knows kids are so cute, and it's so nice to, you know, raise kids and have a family together, etc. So it is very sad that there's this kind of like this very big trend on social media from, I guess, progressive young women, you know, oftentimes demonizing men as a whole and you know, propagating a lot of hatred towards, you know, traditional family values. I think it's a sad thing because honestly, like, you know, when I was 18, 19, 20, you know, I didn't take family value stuff seriously. I would go out to nightclubs and all this sort of stuff and have fun with my friends and go to parties. But, you know, you get older and you realize it's actually a very empty way to live your life. It's very sad. Like, you don't...
Yep. Bobby Green one.
Trailer online now.
It's showtime.
News May 8th, rated R.
Damas y caballeros de Referee Her Team para la pelea. 4 minutos 55 segundos del segundo asalto por el ganador por knockout técnico. The end comes officially. 4 minutes 55 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by TKO,
I'm here with the winner, King Green, King, 39 years old. Your 53rd professional fight. You're fighting a guy with all the physical advantages, taller, longer, younger, and you go out and put on another vintage performance. Incredible.
39 años de edad, pelea número 52 profesional, enfrentas tu peleador más joven.
Dude, fuck the translation thing.
Muchas gracias, Jesucristo. Viva la raza, viva México.
King, take a look at the screen and walk us through the finish. You gave him no respect. You fought like you always did. Walked him down, through the shots. The hands were low, and you got the finish in the second round. Talk us through this.
I can't talk to that right now. You have to see on the screen. Hey, happy Black History Month to all my Black Americans. I do this for you. I'm just trying to show an example of what a hard Black man looks like. Happy, Black, happy. I'm sorry.
Fuck Black History Month. Seriously.
Black History Month. I'm so sorry, guys. Bueno, estoy aquí para presentar también a los americanos y una Happy Black History.
Well, you're an inspiration to many, and you're still going strong at 39 years old. You've been in there with some of the best. I've got to ask, what's next for King Green? Who do you want?
A sus 39 años es todo un veterano, se ha enfrentado estado la mejor. ¿Qué sigue para King Green? Hey, Dana, bring my boy Nate Diaz back to the UFC. Let him retire where he belongs. And last thing, after party at my strip club, Fantasy Topless. I'm out.
Fantasy Topless. After party at my strip club.
This jewelry store in California faced an intense robbery, but the robbers got a bit of a surprise in return.
One of the robbers with both his arms extended out as if he was holding a weapon before jumping across the counter, grabbing necklaces in handfuls. The other men simultaneously smashing cases, making off with more than $170,000 worth of jewelry.
This employee got really intense when he fought back. And the owner came out and started firing his gun. Not content to let them escape, he continued firing. The owner, though, needs to get himself to the firing range because he didn't hit any of the bad guys. I was surprised to hear this from the police.
He's within his rights to own that firearm and did what he had to do to protect his family and his property there at the store.
Another California jewelry store robbery ended in a similar fashion earlier this year.
At least 20 people in broad daylight tried to bust into a jewelry store. Only one door left between the burglars and the showroom.
I take my gun, I shoot one, move it, I skin him, he moves it, and the problem is done.
It all started with this crash Sunday afternoon. And within just 60 seconds, more than 20 masked robbers run into and out of side jewelers on Sisk Road, some with hammers in hand. One suspect slipped into a shard of glass on the way in. Another commanding the criminals to work faster. I want you to know that one of the men arrested from this was named Gangster Lawson. I tell you, I am so shocked he ended up like this. And a few years ago, these jewelry store owners used their fists to protect their store.
I just kind of reacted really off of the instincts. Just I saw them in the reflection right when they opened the door. I kind of started getting up, and then once they broke the glass, I kind of just sprinted straight into it.
Criminals need to be put away in jail, and it shouldn't be up to the people to be doing things like this to protect their stuff and protect themselves.
Are you guys trained in fighting or something, or this is just instinct, trying to protect what's yours?
Val's just flew in there, like watching the video. Oh my god.
So you're watching the video, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh my god.
If you want to be an optometrist in California, you should know how to fight.
An all-out brawl at an optometry clinic in San Ramon, with the invaders trying to grab as many glasses as they could. But the optometrist Dr. Will targeted high-end frames, which could run up to several thousands of dollars each.
Particularly, they were after Cartier brand eyewear. They also seemed to target Gucci and Teddy.
The thieves only made off with about a dozen glasses, though a dozen others were left damaged.
Of course. And a bland bucket of rice isn't dinner. It's disappointment.
Here we go again, another day, again.
The old way of preparing for disasters is broken. Stockpiling bland cans and mystery buckets that taste like cardboard. That's how folks used to do it. Before prices went...
Shut up.
Damas y caballeros, la sumisión llega a las 2 minutos 29 segundos del primer asalto. The end comes in official time of 2 minutes 29 seconds. Round number 1, submission by rear naked choke for your winner, Francis Marshall.
The winner, Francis Marshall. Francis, congratulations. An easy finish in the first round. Take a spinning wheel kick nice and early, bud. I mean, you took him down, got the submission. How good does that feel?
Una finalización rápida en el primer asalto. Te quedaron un par de patas giratorias, pero supiste resolverlo. ¿Cómo te sientes?
It feels great to get in here, get back in the win column, not put that one in the judge's hands, take that one home for myself, and everyone at American Top Team helping me down there, making me better. It's the best damn gym in the world, and everyone knows it.
Me da mucho gusto regresar como uno de los ganadores. Yo no quería dejarle esto a los jueces y valió la pena mi preparación.
Seeing the improvements that you made, I mean, congratulations on all the hard work. That was a beautiful time double leg. Was that always the plan? Because the guy comes out, lands a spinning wheel kick in like 3 seconds. What was going through your mind when that kick landed?
Felicidades por las mejoras, pero háblanos de qué pasó por tu mente cuando te saltó esa patada giratoria a los 3 segundos del combate.
Yeah, game plan was trying to stay safe the first couple minutes, you know, in and out movement, don't do anything crazy. He came out a little crazy style. Didn't see much in film. And the easiest way there, heard Coach Mike yelling for a double leg, jab double leg. Listened to him. He tried to throw a guillotine. We just worked on it in the back defense. Worked out. He gave his back up, and I got the finish.
El plan era estar tranquilo los primeros 2 minutos, sin embargo, él soltó ese golpe algo loco.
Wasn't a big left hook, wasn't, you know, let's look at it another time. Oh, wow, it is the left hook. It wasn't even an uppercut. The other punch didn't even land. It was just that left hook.
Caught him right on the ear.
One punch knockout. Right left.
And there it is.
I like how... Whoa! Absolutely right! He's out! And it is all over! Carlos Condit knocks out Dan Hardy! And we have not seen Carlos Condit throw those kinds of that kind of power in the UFC before. That was amazing! It came out of nowhere. Left hook first. Right on the chin. Let's see it again.
Parts? We got parts. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Oh! They were both throwing. Carlos Condit landed first. Perfectly placed left hook. Right hand left hook behind it. Man. Let's see that again. Oh! His was shorter and more accurate. And that was all she wrote. I mean, Carlos has always had good stand-up, but he really hasn't been knocking guys out with one shot before, and Dan Hardy has shown a great chin. But
staying in the pocket against a guy like Gokhan Saki, just turning this into a kickboxing fight, is very dangerous. Well, his best bet would be to get these exchanges going and then set up a takedown.
I agree with you, Joe. And I think that really it's just a matter of time. That's the problem when you do straight stand-up. Oh, he's got him! It's a big left hand! And that's it. He looks hurt, guys. That's it. That's what you're saying, Joe. Unbelievable. And that's the problem with 4-ounce gloves. Anybody can get knocked out. Unbelievable. Silenced everybody.
A stunner in Vegas tonight, Roundtree Jr.
Look at Roundtree Jr. The way he did it. Look at this here. Boom! Straight down the middle. Perfectly placed left hand. And then drops the hammers on him until the fight is stopped. And how you see him at the end of the fight, he tried to get back up, but he's on rubber legs. Absolutely perfect stoppage. Khalil Roundtree Jr. just shocked the world.
He wants to be able to come over here and be a star. I mean, he's just unloading on Damon Jackson right now. All combinations. Those body shots have now officially... Now set up the headshot, and it's all over.
The walk-off KO for Ilya
chopped him down like a tree.
Oh my goodness gracious. And like you said, that was all because of going to the body and setting everything up. That opened up that left hook and just landed clean.
I mean, picture perfect, striking 101. Wow. Start to the body, stuffs the takedowns, at the same time as you're doing damage to set up for the big shot at the end of the fight. That was picture perfect. That's how you strike in MMA in this early first round.
I mean, let's take a look at this. Clips him with that rear uppercut, rips to the body. What happens? He drops down, worried about the body, hands are down, over the top with that right hand, I'm sorry. And then that was just icing on the cake, unnecessary, but he's just doing his job. Let's take a listen to those shots.
Wow. When you look at this body shot and the way he set it up, I mean, it doesn't get better than that because he threw the right hand. He's hurt right now. That's it. And this is the finisher. Bam!
Right on the ear.
On the money. After you go to the body, it pays dividends to set out.
Jeremy Stevens trying to lead the dance out there. Jason almost landed with a big right hand. But I like what Stevens is doing early. Big kick from Stevens! Honey, Jason is out. How about the knockout for Jeremy Stevens? There's that knockout power. The crowd is completely silent. I love you, baby. Gianna Mila, I love you. That's for the fucking family. Jason just ducked into that kick at the same time. And Stevens just connected with not only a huge kick, but it followed up with a right hand. Devastating shots. All right, the move of the fight, no doubt about what it is brought to you by Metro PCS, now nationwide 4G LTE. John, that took my breath away. That was just in front of us here. And you can see Jason just ducked into it as he was throwing a right hand and ate that shin. Huge right hand after that. Devastating shots, back to back, boom. Huge right hand from Stevens. That's the kind of knockout power that we were talking about. Wow. And you gotta think the fellow... Brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. And Ngannou is in black, Rosenstrike is in gray. Early inside leg kick is there for Biggie Boy. Oh! Oh!
It's all...
Rosenstrike is out!
Whoa.
Ngannou!
Out bad! Out cold. Holy smokes!
So Francis Ngannou with his fourth consecutive vicious first-round knockout.
Cow. See, that's what we're talking about. You can't make any mistakes. You can't be there when the punches land. He's too powerful. It doesn't matter what kind of a technical striker you are. It doesn't matter how much experience you are. Francis Ngannou has freak power like no one in the division.
I used to say Anthony Rumble Johnson was the biggest power threat in UFC history. Daniel, the guy you have 2 wins over. Francis Ngannou's next level.
Oh, it's unbelievable. He blitzes you. And once he gets his hands on these guys, they just go out. He's so big, he's so powerful, he's so explosive that you cannot withstand the rush. And I mean, he put Biggie Boy out bad.
Bad and quick.
Fight Replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold characters since 1872. Here's the full fight.
I mean, Rosenstrike here, it looks like it's going to be a kickboxing match, you know? This doesn't benefit Francis. Francis decided, okay, well, I'm just going to rush. And Rosenstrike does not have the ability to try to take him down. So this just starts happening. I mean,
hold on. As soon as one lands, it's over.
Look at Francis' chin. Look at his chin. Look at Francis' chin. I mean, his chin's way up in the air. He's just throwing. Boom.
He's just trying to connect.
He's just trying to connect because he understands. He understands that if he hits you, you're done.
He just puts you in a firefight that you can't win. He's got a bazooka and you just have a gun.
I mean, look at his chin's all up in the air and he's just like, I'm going to hit him. And when he does, Biggie Boy goes out.
Crazy.
Get over here. Combat 2. See the new trailer online now. It's showtime. In theaters May 8th, rated R.
Crazy. And Whaley has landed several of those inside focus.
As much as I wanted to sit here and play, I'm gonna get off because I'm bored as shit, and it's really not worth it for me to keep playing. I don't have shit to do. I gotta do some more shit, but I mean, it's just annoying. So we're gonna get off. If people want to join the clan, join the clan. If you don't want to join the clan, cool. I already got the top rewards, so we really can just do whatever. So I'm going to be collecting batteries. We'll see how many batteries I can collect in the next couple days. So, see you guys tomorrow. What time is it? It's only 8 p.m. Only 8 p.m. Ah! Anyways, so I'm going to go and I'm going to make some food, some muffins, some shit for my daughter. I got like 5.5 pounds of flour. So I'm gonna make some shit. So see you guys tomorrow. I'll be on after 2 o'clock or around 2 p.m. Peace.